What is up? What is up to my YouTube family? How you all doing? I don't know if people is this thing on? One, two. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Please let this thing stay. Oh yeah, I see myself. I see myself. Okay. JRS to here. JRS was first, then to here was second. Oh man. This kidney stone is killing me. We are waiting for Natania. Mother bird, skirt, skirt. Mother bird, skit, skit. Teet, teet, tractor, and Bob. Hey, beautiful people. Love the beautiful, positive people. Mother bird. Oh my God, man. This um thing is bothering me. I think I'm just nervous. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? TT Tractor is in the house. What Mother Bird talking about? Mother Bird Echo. TT Track. TT Tractor. How y'all doing there? I like the echo sound effect. JRS. Yeah, it took a little time to master it, I guess. um Natanya, we still waiting on Natanya. Bless her heart. You know how it is when you're a celebrity, right? You know, sometimes you gotta work on the Lord's time, most definitely. So we waiting on her. But meantime, between time, what's up, Mike? Rashid, what's going on? Oh, we live on Facebook also. I like when I don't know how to do all that, but we about to interview Natanya. It's the lady who I don't even know how to say it. Um I'm just gonna say what I believe. um P. Diddy shot Natania Reuben in the face at that club over 20 something years ago. Hey, what's going on? Brenda, Miss Beautiful, how you doing there? Lord have mercy, y'all. I swear, as soon as I finish this, I'm going straight to bed. Um, and this interview is going to start off with me humbly apologizing for Jossie. And I was hoping she came on early so we can go over a few things. There she go. Lord have mercy, y'all. Look.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. I had technical difficulties. A
Hey.
tree fell in my neighborhood like in the middle of the night and knocked everybody's power out. So it has been a doozy.
Wow. I'm so glad you made it.
Oh,
Uh,
God is merciful.
Yeah, most definitely. I was just explaining to the people. I don't know if you heard
Mm-mm.
that um that she in my book she's a celebrity, so she could be late.
No,
I mean, sometimes
no, no, no. I am just me. I am just me. I'm just doing the bidding of the Lord in
right.
this magnificent Jubilee year that I'm having. Thank you for having me, Mike. And I'm just going to say from the jump, let me invite the Lord into this space to continue being a blessing in my life and to continue to combat any attempts by the enemy to, I mean, and I feel like the enemy has been trying to block this, but where God said, where man says no, God says yes every single time. And so
Amen.
I'm happy to be here, thankful that, I have another day. I'm still in my, you see my 25, I'm not taking it down. I'm going to let these balloons last as long as they last.
Amen. Most definitely. Most definitely. I think a lot of my people probably don't know who you are.
Okay.
I told them the situation. They started like, oh, really? Okay, I remember that. You know, I want to start first. I was hoping that you came a little early because I wanted to just go over some things,
Mm-hmm.
and we can go over the things right now because
Absolutely.
I'm
No
going to
time
let
like
you.
the president.
I'm gonna let you know. The dopest nerd. You the dopest nerd.
Thank you. Of all nerds.
I'm not here to embarrass anybody or try to trick you. And I know it's been channels that tried to trick you or do just the stupid stuff. I don't like stupid stuff.
Me either.
And my people know I get real angry when people try to hurt women. I think females and everything, as a man, we should be uplifting females, period. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I'll tell
um,
you, Mike, here's the thing that a lot of men are not aware of. The term females is a little objectifiable and offensive to us. We just prefer to be called women.
okay,
A lot
women,
of, absolutely. We don't females is a, ambiguous term.
ladies,
We like ladies or women. And so,
right.
but
Well, I
thank you
like
for
ladies
that.
too.
Thank you for and thank you for standing as a vanguard to protect us because like you said, far too
Right,
many try to come against us or derail us in some kind of way. And there's no need for it. I mean, we all sink or swim together in this world. And
right,
people need to understand that.
right. And I want one of the things I wanted to say is we can talk about if I ask you a question and you were like, I really don't want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's okay because right now this is your platform.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
So what I want to start off with is the biggie. Let's start off with the biggie. I want to let everybody know that I was one of the main people saying, "Oh, that girl lying, she's lying," and all this stuff. And you know how like you get a group of guys or group of ladies together, and somebody has a bigger voice.
Mm-hmm.
The little people, well, why would she say that and all this stuff? And I was like, they just trying to bring Puffy down, and they trying to say all this stuff on Puffy. If you got, and I told you this, and I want my people to know that I was. First of all, I'm so lucky to be able to talk to you, even on a one-on-one, just you and I. I can't believe this is happening. I
I
can I can't believe it's happening, and I can't believe how quickly my mind changed after all those years of saying this woman is lying. There's no way if you got shot in the face, you be dead. That's all I thought. But
but
guess
our
what?
God is an awesome God.
But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 friends that got shot in the head. Anytime you get shoot or shot in the head, 50 Cent got shot in the mouth, and
Mm-hmm.
talks about it. Because of Hollywood, this is what I was saying, and I want my people to know that I apologize. I came straight to you and said
You did.
I was one of the ones saying you was lying. You lie, stuff like that. And I deeply understand because I have 3 friends that got shot in the head. They still living. One got shot in the face, one got shot behind the neck. And they're normal. They live in normal lives. Well, one of them was crazy in the first place. So when he got shot in the head, he's still crazy. So nah, you know what I'm saying? But I understand it's really not a joking
Well,
matter.
they are. Let me just say something. Your friends are miracles. We are
Right.
all miracles. When in it never occurred to me to look up how many people survive gunshot wounds to the head. However, one day I was home and my daughter had the day off from school, and she got in my bed and we were just talking, and I was watching Good Morning America or something, and
Mhm.
they put there's a young lady named Malala Yousafzai. She's from Afghanistan, and she is notable because she was shot in the face by the Taliban, the face and head,
Wow.
and on a bus going to school. And she continued to fight because she kept fighting for women's rights, and she was a child, 16, I believe, and she continued to fight after she had a long healing process. She won the Nobel Peace Prize and everything. So my daughter was in the 5th grade at the time, and she said, um, "Oh, Malala." And I said, "You know who Malala is?" And she's like, "Oh, come on, mommy. I'm in the 5th grade. I know who that is." And I just instinctively just asked her, "You know what mommy and Malala have in common?" And my family's from Trinidad. So she said, "Is she Trinidadian?" And I said, "No, we both got shot in the face." And I instantly just started crying. Like, it's not something I talked to my daughter about a lot. She knew because of hearing periphery conversations, but I
Mhm.
never had that direct conversation with her. And I just began crying profusely. And God said, "You are special." My
Mhm.
daughter said to me, "Mommy, you're special." And she hugged me and she said, "You're a miracle." And God said, "I've been trying to tell you that all this time." But it's
Right.
like I could not hear it except for from my daughter's voice. And when
Right.
she said that, it inclined me to say, let me Google how many people survive gunshot wounds to the head. And
Mhm.
when I Googled it, it said only 5% of people survive being shot in the head or face, and only 3% have cognitive ability. So you are in a company of miracles, Mike. You
Yes.
have three people, three random people, and they all survive. They're walking miracles because 95% do not survive getting shot in the face of the head. And that's
Right.
very important to know. And the fact that not only are they miracles, but they're 1 in 3%
Mhm.
because they
Right.
still have cognitive abilities. The rest of the people either don't survive or are vegetables. So we
Right.
all glory to God.
One of the guys said the only problem he has or he notices that his peripheral vision on one side is kind of it's not as this side is real wide, but this
Mhm.
side is peripheral kind of stops right there and it's just a black screen right there. And I thought that was interesting. So
Yeah.
do you have any I mean you
Lots.
I want you to start wherever you want to start at,
Okay.
because I heard the story so many times,
Mhm.
and I think God makes me listen to the story because I was like, before we started this interview, I was thinking, now maybe she shouldn't tell the story, or maybe we should do this, or because she told the story so many times, she probably don't want to tell the story. I don't know. I said, you know what? Let
It can be
the
triggering.
God
Let God lead the space. Exactly.
and let this lady, this beautiful woman, um, you tell your story your way. You want to start from the very beginning, start from the beginning. You want to start in the middle. I like the part about the carrots and everything.
Mhm. I
The
will tell
curd
that
bar.
part. So I will
Golly.
say that I do have deficits. I have depth perception deficits. I
Is that
cannot.
right?
So if you're in church and they say bow your head and close your eyes when they're praying, I cannot just bow my head and close my eyes. I will fall over. I have zero depth perception if I close my eyes.
Because the
And
equilibrium is off?
equilibrium is off, and then the depth perception in front of me is gone. So
Wow.
it has improved over the past 25 years, but it's still nowhere where it used to be or where it needs to be. And
Wow.
so I have to hold on to something first. And
Mhm.
even in holding, once I close my eyes and bow even the slightest bit forward, I'm literally wavering. Like I won't do it if I'm not beside someone I know, because I will instinctively lean over to the next person. It's
Mm,
just how the body works. My equilibrium is thrown.
mm,
I want to say completely gone because I'm a woman of God, and I believe in restoration at all times. God can do it in one day.
mhm.
it could be going for 25 years and God restores it like that. And I'm always
Mm-hmm.
believing for faith that that is what's going to happen. But I also had a host of other problems because of the getting shot. I developed a seizure disorder because I have, you've heard the story. I have 9 bullet fragments left in and around my face.
Oh
And
my
one
goodness.
of the bullet fragments scarred my brain and gave me a traumatic brain injury and a seizure disorder. So I am the manifestation of faith. I can't stop saying it. This is a lesson in obedience. God has called me to uh, a faith walk that was not easy, that I had
Mm-hmm.
to learn within this 25 years. I had to learn how to stay on this faith walk. But I was committed. There was something inside of me so much bigger than me. I could not let it go. I could not lay it down. And this is why I stand so firm and I speak so stoically, especially for the Jane Does that are out here now and the victims that are coming to justice now. The same thing, that how hard they're going against them, they did worse to me. Okay. This is 25 years post my injury. Back when I got shot, he was at the top of the world, at the top of his game. Trust me, they went harder on me. The only difference was there was no social media. I literally had a love-hate relationship with social media because I was viral before there was ever a thing called viral. And this was print, newspaper, TV, magazines, radio, every form of media conspired with him to paint a narrative that totally disavowed everything that I endured. And I could not let it go. I said, I will have my redemption. I will have my recompense. I will have my glory moment. And God let me see. Look at what I achieved in this year of 2024 before the year is over. I hit my jubilee, my 25th year, and I saw this man incarcerated. I knew it all along. God told me 3 years ago that his whole empire would fall and he would be incarcerated. I started telling people, and they was like, okay. Some of my friends and family believed me, but other people was like, here we go again. And we're totally oblivious to that I could be saying something that would actualize. In fact, God is so merciful. Those are the first people that spun the block and called me when he got arrested.
Mm,
I'm
mm, mm.
talking the amount of text messages and calls I got.
You talking about now when he just got arrested
Now, when he got arrested,
and
when he
can't
got
make
arrested,
bail?
they listen. Every one of them called me. Every one of them. Oh
Right.
my God, you said this. How did you know? I said, God.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think it's a parlor trick or it looks cute. I'm 100, and you watch the 25th anniversary. I'm 100% 10 toes down in this God thing. This ain't no
So
parlor trick. This
so
is
the
for
25th anniversary is from the
was
day that it happened.
the day I got shot. Exactly. I was
It
going
don't
in.
seem like that long, man. It seemed like it was like maybe 5 years ago. I was yelling at them saying, "Man, that girl lying."
Let me tell you
You-
something. This 25 years felt like it was 50.
For
And
you?
I know
Oh,
50 years feel like because I'm 54. This
right.
25 years felt like it was 50 years.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
I am
Well,
exhilarated right now.
you look beautiful. I don't care what name. You are looking beautiful, girl.
That
I
is that y'all.
There you go. Show it off, girl. Hey, show it
Hey.
off. You know me. You know
But no,
me. I'm a clown.
it was
Yeah.
a harrowing day. That December 27th. I mean, well, we went out on the 26th, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah, yeah. Start from the
I,
so
I'll,
because you was saved, you a Christian, and you was into the church. So I guess a lot of people thought that you had no business going to the club in the first place because you was a Christian lady.
so here's the deal. I
Okay.
disavow all those things that people say. People
Mhm.
want to put their own understanding on this. Back then, I got saved and into the Christian church, but I grew up in the church. I was no stranger to the word or the
O-
church.
Okay,
People
from
that
the
have been in the
beginning.
church all my life. I grew
Okay.
up in a spiritual family, and a family that is very devout in its belief and understanding of God and practice of the faith. I identify right now as a spiritual woman because for me it is more about my personal relationship with God. That's what this is about, my personal relationship with God. Oftentimes, a lot of religious institutions are predicated and religions are predicated on control. And that is
Okay.
the one thing I do not believe in. I don't control other people. I don't control situations. I don't control.
Okay.
I learned in this 25-year journey, if you only relinquish your desire for control, God will give you the desires of your heart. It's
Okay.
because so many people want to control people. They can't maintain relationships with them. They can't maintain jobs, whole lot of things because they are trying to control and they have to relinquish that.
Okay.
So
So
I, at that particular time, I had just gotten saved. I had pulled away from the church. I was doing my own thing. My sons were young. My grandmother had been taking them to church literally since their inception. At 2 years and 9 months old, my oldest son ended up crushing his fingers. One day he wanted to play outside of the gate, and I told him no. He went anyway. And when I took him inside, I said, didn't I tell you that your children must obey their mothers and their parents? What did I say to you? Do you understand what I said? And he looked up at me and said, Ephesians 6:1. He was 2 years and 9 months old. And I was like, what? And my mother said, she came. I was like, what are you talking about? My mother came in the living room and said, what happened? And I said, I'm sitting here telling him he must obey his parents. He's telling me Ephesians 6:1. That's your first lesson for your mic or your music recording network fans and subscribers. Go look up Ephesians 6:1. Honor
mm,
thy mother and thy father. This is what my
amen.
2 years and 9 month old son said to me. So
Mm,
those were the things that were a tug to start pulling me back to the word.
okay.
I got down and I kissed his feet. I said, Father God, who is it that you think I am that you put this child in my womb for
Mm,
2 years and 9 months to say this thing?
wow. That's
And so
incredible.
I knew, I was like, okay, something's going on here. When I
Hmm.
had my younger son, 3 years later, he was 3 years old. Something happened, and I was like, listen, guys, you have to learn how to sacrifice. You cannot have everything you want. I said, do you understand what I'm saying? I didn't do baby talk with my kids. My youngest son, who was my middle child, said, John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. So whosoever shall believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. He was 3. That is the
Mm,
epitome of sacrifice. To sacrifice your child
mm,
is the epitome of sacrifice. But my
right.
kids were ministering to me. And
Right.
this is pulled me back to the word. And so
Right.
when I got saved, my kids were going to church with my grandmother, and my grandmother was like, oh, come go to church with us. And I was like, I don't have anything to wear. And my son turned around and said, God said, come as you are.
Come as you are.
It was convicted. I could not say another thing.
Come as you are. You right about that.
He was, at the time, he was 6 years old when he
Hmm.
said, or 7. He is 35 now. So I
Wow.
have been under the anointing all this time, or from birth, but we all pull away and come back.
Hmm.
Um, so that particular time I got saved.
Hmm. So,
And I wasn't really much, in the club anyway like that. I was a businesswoman. I owned 2 businesses. So
hmm.
I saved, and my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, your friends still stay your friends. You have some people that you realize, okay, this person doesn't align with what I believe in. And so you just depart, no harm, no foul. You just know that you have to move away from some people when you change your walk. But I had a good group of girlfriends to my understanding and my belief. And one of them was a party promoter, and she knew that she kept saying, you're going to come to my party for New Year's Eve. And I was like, well, nah, because I go to watch night service. I go to
hmm.
church for New Year's Eve. So I said,
Okay.
well, she was like, please, I want you there. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. However, I will go ahead and come out with you for, she was promoting. And she was like, we're doing a promotion run up to the party. So we're going to go out these days. I said, I'll go out with you one day. I went out with them the day after Christmas, which is widely known as Boxing Day. So we went out on the night of the 26th. So many things happened. Uh, as I was leaving, well, when we were getting ready, one of my girlfriends was like, I said, well, I don't have anything to wear. And she said, wear one of my outfits. And I said, nah, I'm good. Let me go to my sister's house and get an outfit. I went to my sister's house, who was not that far away, got an outfit, and came back. They didn't want me to go home because they said, if you go across town and go home, you ain't coming back, which I wasn't. So I went to my sister's house and
Right.
I got,
Right. Right.
yeah. And I was just like, okay, let me borrow one of hers. And when I was leaving, she said something. She says, be careful. And I'm like, oh, I felt like it was a jinx. I said, leave me alone. Why you say that? It felt like a jinx.
Okay.
But I walked out. I got back to her house, and when I got there, they were already like getting out the door. They were like, "We were gonna leave you, taking so long." So I went and put my things down and was just getting like my earrings and little accessories. As I was heading to the front door, they had already gone downstairs to the car. She had a big Rottweiler, huge. He jumped on my back and knocked my earring out of my hand. And so,
Mm.
he jumped and put his paws on my shoulder, and
Uh-huh.
my ear fell forward. So it fell under the fish tank. Well, that fish tank broke earlier that week. And when I tried to get my earring, I cut my finger. So many things were just making me hyper focus. And I needed that. It was like I needed that hyper focus so that I could be prepared for what was to come, which I had no idea of.
Wow.
I
Wow.
dressed my
Go ahead.
finger, got my finger together. They were blowing the horn, blowing the horn. As soon as I made the threshold of the front door, God said, "Go change your shoes." I had 1 foot out of the door, 1 foot in her apartment. God said, "Go change your shoes." And I was like, "No, God, if I change, I'm going to have to change my accessories and stuff, to
Hmm.
match." And he said again with a heavier voice like a father, "Go change your shoes." And so I
Wow.
just like, and I turned back and I went and changed my shoes. And I had on some flat ankle boots, some snakeskin ankle boots. I never wear flats. I'm a stiletto girl. Well, now I wear flats. Now I wear sneakers. But back then, I'm
Okay.
a stiletto girl. I never wore flats. I didn't have
So you had
sneakers.
on at first you had on high heel, some type
First,
of
I had
high heel.
flat. First, I had on ankle boots,
Okay.
then flat boots.
And you
And then I went
changed.
and changed and put on some high heel ankle boots.
Oh, okay. So now you got on high heels to go to the club.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. All right.
So I
Okay.
go and I had only gotten those boots a month before from obedience because I at Thanksgiving because one of my the guys that hung out in front of my beauty salon in front of how it is, the guys on the block.
Right.
Me and their mom was really cool. They watched my back so I never got robbed. And
Mm-hmm.
me and their mother was one of the guys was cool. And she worked for ACS, which is the Administration for Children
Mm-hmm.
Services. And some big case had happened back then and a child was found. They found out that the caseworker had not been checking up on the child and the child would passed away. So the
Okay.
commissioner called everyone in. She came
Right.
to me, "Hey, you heard about that story? The commissioner's calling us in. I need my hair done. I don't even have it right now." I said, "Come in here, girl, please." I did her hair. We laughed. We talked. She went her way.
Okay.
About 2 weeks later, or a week later, she came back, paid me, and then also gave me a Bloomingdale's gift card. The Bloomingdale's gift, and I said, "You don't have to do this." And she was like, "I want to. I thank you. I appreciate you." The
Mm.
Bloomingdale's gift card is what I took and added a little money and bought the boots that I had on that saved my life.
Yeah,
So
I
this
agree.
is
Say
about
keep in mind, guys, that she had on low heels, right? And then
I
now you have on high heels, so now you're a little taller. That's important. I want y'all to keep that in mind. But go ahead,
don't,
continue.
No, you're right, and that's very noteworthy. So I ended up putting on those boots that I bought with the gift card for just she gave me out of kindness for doing her hair,
Okay.
like obedience. Went on downstairs. They were fussing with me. "Oh, we were gonna leave you. Take so long," and yada yada yada. And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on." And so we drove to the club, and when we arrived at the back of the club, the most bizarre thing awaited us. I had never seen this. This is in Times Square, New York. Everybody's seen Times Square in the movies. Everybody's heard of Times Square. It is crowded at all times. Parking spaces in Manhattan are at a premium. This entire block was empty, but at the front of the block, to enter the block, you literally had to go through two ambulances halfway parked on the side of the street and halfway into the street. So it narrowed
Mm.
traffic into this one little lane. And I was like, what on earth is going on here? Are they expecting somebody to die? I mean, I was just like, what is going on? It was
Wow.
a weird feeling.
Uh-huh.
And they were just like, "Oh, come on, Holy Ghost, stop it. Look at you. Oh, Lord." They really felt like I was being, because at the time I got saved, I became a holy roller, like laying hands on folks, and just, I was so filled with God. I wanted to share with everybody.
Right,
And
right,
you know how it is. You eventually your pendulum will swing and you will settle where you're gonna be. But in the beginning, you swing from one end of the spectrum all the
right.
way to
Y'all,
yes.
you have you
So
seen God? You know God. Come
there you
on
go.
and
Hey,
yeah,
let me
yeah,
tell you about
yeah.
the goodness of the Lord, that kind of stuff.
Amen.
And my girlfriends were just like, we all get
Yeah.
to our spirituality when we get to it.
Right.
And They were kind of like, here she go again.
Yeah.
But I said, guys, I feel weird about this. Like 2 ambulances? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
They they were like, ah. We went in.
Mm-hmm.
The block was packed. There were no cars on the block. There is a parking lot on that block also, and that's where she ended up parking, in the parking lot. But the block itself was empty, which is strange. It's what, in retrospect, makes it look like some sort of setup, because it's not normal for, now the lower end of the block, I couldn't see all the way down the block, and Manhattan blocks are very long.
Right.
So I don't know what was towards the end of the block, but as it stands, it was empty. So I thought that was strange. We go inside. There's a bunch of people outside waiting, and it is a brick freezing cold day. There's a ton of people
Mm.
outside. So I see a lot of people, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what you doing here, Holy Roller? You at the club?"
Right.
People just laughing. You know how it is. You got thick skin. They making jokes. You laugh. You have your kiki about it. It's not a big deal. But everybody was saying that to me pretty much. So we go inside, and as I get into the front lobby, the young lady, Sharice Myers, the female security, she's checking everybody's purse. She goes in my purse. I have a comb in my purse. She
Mm-hmm.
carries on. Oh, you can't take this thing. This is a weapon. Like, they literally could see this on the video surveillance footage when they look back
Wow.
at the surveillance. She takes
Wow.
my comb from me and says, "This is a weapon. You taking my comb." And somebody on the internet incidentally said this to me. Wow, look at the goodness of God.
Mm-hmm.
She took your comb and called it a weapon, and that let Combs in with a weapon.
And that's who shot you.
Significance of
That's
Combs.
crazy.
Come on, that's God laying out a
Right.
blueprint.
The part that tripped
So
me out is somebody on the internet, because you didn't
yeah,
even know, you didn't
I
even
didn't
put
even
that
make the
together.
correlation. No, didn't
You
even
didn't
make the
put,
correlation.
I wouldn't have put that together. There was a couple of things that people put together for me, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't even think of it like that. Thank
Yep,
you." That type of thing.
you're
Okay.
right.
So yeah, yeah. So God, so they took the comb.
Took the comb. So I got in the club, and I was in there. We had only been in the club for an hour and 15 minutes when I got pop out.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and 15 minutes. So I pretty much, like I said, it was a very festive and raucous environment. I wasn't really feeling it, but I was just there out of friendly commitment. Like, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. And
Mm-hmm.
I really wasn't feeling it, didn't want to be there, but I wasn't complaining. It's like you got that one girlfriend who's the coat holder. She holds all the coats, and she's, the designated driver. That was me. So I
Right.
stood, I held my corner in this little area. I had been
Mm-hmm.
there all night, and it was the way the layout of the club is. There are pictures of the club online. The way the layout of the club is, we were on one side. I was on one side of the room, and across the room was the bar. But there was an opening in between where I was standing and where the bar was. It was this large opening where people kind of congregated, but
Mm-hmm.
the staircase to the dance floor was there. You have to walk down that, opening and
Right.
descend onto the dance floor. And then that's like VIP and the bathrooms and all this other stuff.
Okay.
I stood in one spot all night. One point, my girlfriend said, "I got to go to the bathroom." I went with her to the bathroom. We went on
Mm-hmm.
the outer perimeter to the bathroom, and then we came back on the outer perimeter. And I mean, it had gotten more and more jumping in that hour and 15 minutes. But within
Mm-hmm.
that, the gentleman who they ended up having a fight with, or the
Scuffle.
melee, the scuffle with, thank you.
Yeah.
His name is Scar. Scar used to live across, his mother's house was across the street from one of my beauty salons.
Okay.
So, and Scar was just well known by his own definition. If you watch, there's another podcast called The Proffer, Proffer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the guy who hosted, he was a former New York City detective. He interviewed the two lead detectives that investigated the case. It's about 4 months old, but you can look it up. The Proffer. Just put like
Right.
1999 detectives.
I need to
Puffy.
do that. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
need to watch.
Well,
And if you go on my channel,
uh-huh.
I did a reaction to it. So I have a reaction, and I will point out, it might be easier for you to watch the reaction because I point out specific things on my channel as well.
Ooh,
So if
we
you
need to
want
do a
to,
reaction to your
yeah,
reaction.
do a reaction to my
Yeah.
reaction, Mike.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Hold
love
up, hold up for 1 second
it.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this yellow thingy? Somebody dropped a super chat. You know how we always like to acknowledge our people
Right.
that's supporting. Thank you so much, first of all,
The wrong
Deborah.
class.
She
Hold on
says,
1 second, Mike. Hold on
okay.
one. Oh no, here they go. My
Oh,
apologies.
she looking for the readers,
I
right?
gotta get the readers now.
Yeah, bless your
Okay.
heart.
Takes for the
Well,
seasoned.
I was gonna read it, Miss
Go ahead.
Deborah. She's from UK. She said, Miss Natanya, I want to call you Latanya. I don't know. You know me. I'm Uncle Mike is crazy with the names. Miss
I love.
Natanya, I am grateful for hearing your story. You inspire me.
Thank you.
And then she says, thank you, Mike, for always searching for the truth. Yeah, I always try to search for the truth. We all got to stick together to search for the truth. And then she says, P.S. Natanya, your hat is gorgeous. I love the hats you be
No,
wearing, girl.
thank you. I'm a hat girl. I'm an accessory girl. Thank you so.
Hmm. Love from the UK.
Thank you. I greatly
Yep,
appreciate that, Miss Deborah. I appreciate you, and I receive your love, and I send it back. Thank you so much for that.
most definitely. It is so hard. People don't realize how difficult it is to sit here. I don't know, click the buttons, try to let the people
I
talk,
know.
different things, So, I continue.
Okay. So, so I was across the room from where the bar was, and
Right.
so
And the guy name was what's
the
the
guy's
guy
name
name?
is Scar. His name is
Scar.
Matthew Allen, but his nickname was
Yeah,
Scar.
yeah, street name or
So,
whatever, Scar.
um, and by his own in the proffer, you'll hear the detectives Artie Cadigan and Joe Sweeney say, um, people are like the host was like, well, what kind of person was he? Was he like a thug? He was like, he had his thing, but he was charming. And I said this many times. This is
Mhm.
before I even filmed that podcast. I said he described himself as a ghetto celebrity, and he very much was. Everybody knew him.
Mhm.
Um, and people may walk a certain walk that that's between them and the Lord. They may
Right.
walk that walk, but people have duality, and we have to always remember that. I always tell people my best example is you could be a 304 with a heart of gold. You could be a thug with a heart of gold. Like I know a lot of righteous men and women who consider themselves to be, Christians or
Christians,
whatever, and they
father the
follow the
people.
rules. They don't break the rules, but I've never seen them give out a book bag at back to school time, nor a turkey for anybody or groceries to feed their children. I've never seen any of these acts from them. However, I do know some people who society would designate as thugs or 304s, and they are always giving back. So we have to be very weary about boxing people into these things. We have to be very careful with our designations of people. And
Mhm.
so I see a lot of newscasts like he was a thug and this and that. Listen, Puffy is a thug. Just because he owned a record label doesn't mean that man wasn't a thug. Now that man is the thuggest of all thugs.
And he was involved in a school that didn't do well.
If you have to measure, a lot of media was trying to measure Scar and him and making it like Scar had to be the problem because he was a thug and Puffy was a dismogul. Listen, if you measure them against each other, Scar looks like a choir boy. Okay,
Mhm.
Puffy's the real thug. But I digress.
Okay.
So thugs up, thugs. See, look at that. I
Yeah.
removed that. Scar said, "Hey, Eb, what you doing in here, Holy Roller? Look at you. You preaching a sermon." And it was funny. We laughed about it because everybody knew I got saved. He would come to my shop. We would
Mhm.
have the most deep, amazing conversations. He definitely had an amazing spirit, and we would have some of the most thought-provoking conversations. He was such a gentle soul. Whatever the world, whatever his reckoning was with the world, or whatever, that's between him and God. But as far as the person I knew, he was a definitely great guy, and I can appreciate the friendship we had. So he asked me if I wanted to drink, and I'm like, no, I'm not drinking. He said, what are you doing in here? And I was like, I'm here with Stacy and everybody, and we all knew each other.
Right,
And he
right.
was like, okay. Um, and he said, well, what you want something to drink? I said, give me some juice. And he was like, you got me buying juice in the club? Like it became a joke. He gave me
Mhm.
some juice. He went his way. I went my way. He went back to his area. I held my corner, and that was it. A little while later, this groundswell of people started to ascend the staircase. And like I said, the staircase and that opening in the room was in the middle of where I was positioned and where the bar was across the room. They started to ascend the staircase following the whole entourage, which
Right.
we immediately were able to see. It was Puffy, J-Lo, their whole entourage. And Shine, which a lot of people don't know, Shine was a friend of mine. Shine's
Oh,
first time getting on wax in the studio was on my work. I'm a female vocalist. A lot of people don't know that. I could have said this a long time. I mean, some people that watch me, they know I'm a singer, but I'm a singer.
right. And
He,
we're
I
gonna
was in studio.
I want to talk about that also because we got some things that we're working on as a producer. But go ahead. Yeah.
So I was in a studio, and
Hmm.
the guy who was managing him was a friend of mine. I used to work at his salon before I opened my own.
Okay.
And
The guy that was managing Shine.
yes,
Okay.
it
Okay.
was like a light de facto management. He used to hang out in
Right.
front of the shop and things like that.
Okay.
So and he called me. That was my homeboy. He was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I said, "I'm in the studio." He said, "Oh, word? Let me come through. I got, this young guy with me. Let me come through." I said, "Come on." I told him what studio I was in, what suite I was in. They came through.
Hmm.
He came in. He was doing his bars. He was rapping. He was good.
Hmm.
Um, and I had already known who he was, but he was good. He was doing his thing, and I was proud to let him come and get on the mic. That was no big deal for me. You know how it is in the studio, Mike. Anybody who presents with either
The
talent
skills.
or a hope to have talent, a hope to display what they have. We want to give them an opportunity, let them vibe. And I,
Exactly.
and I know for a fact that the what he recorded in the studio with me, and this was a couple of times. It wasn't just one time. What he recorded in the studio with me, they ended up taking that when they went to shop his demo to get a deal, and that's part of how he got a record deal. So
Mm.
those are factors that a lot of people don't know. And that is why when people hear me saying Shine is a liar, in my opinion, he knows he is holding back the whole truth and nothing but the truth for whatever reason. And that's not between me, that's between him and God. He gonna have to reconcile himself with God on
And
that.
that's weird because he did 10 years over this.
Yeah, but he was also compensated. They have
Oh,
very
right.
crafty ways of doing their stuff, like give him a record deal that you've never heard. You understand? They gave him a
People
record
said that.
through LA Reid. Where the record at?
Right.
It
People have
wasn't a
said
record deal.
that over and
It
over
was a
again.
payoff.
Right.
It was
Right.
the payoff for doing the bid.
Slickly.
But listen, he's not innocent. Shine shot Julius Jones. I was not the only person that got pow that night. Myself, Julius Jones, and a man named Robert Thompson was grazed. I always have to evoke their names because how we just made our 25th anniversary and the world they tried to shut me down, but I wouldn't go for it. But they have all but eradicated and erased them too from history. And I will not tolerate it. This is not just my monumentous occasion. This is theirs as well. And this thing has eviscerated and affected their lives as well. And everybody copes with what they cope with, how they cope with it. But Julius
Right.
Jones, my friend, I talked to him. That's my brother.
Hmm.
We became members of a club neither one of us signed up for. And we
That's
just
true.
made that 25th milestone year together. I have to always evoke their names. I have to. And so Shine shot Julius Jones, and I'm never going to stop saying it. And he admits it. And when you go on my channel, you will see a video with the docus. I wrote a docu-series called Shot, Survivors Helping Others Through. That's the acronym. And I want to help people that survive gun violence reclaim their name, their story, their title, and not just be some news blurb. And so you hear in my sizzle reel, you will hear that snippet of him admitting on the Combat Jack podcast that it
Right.
got him.
Right. I heard it. I heard it a couple
You
of
heard it.
times. And
Yeah.
he said out of his mouth that y'all would, oh, that's my girl. That's my home girl or something like that. He said, yeah, I heard it.
Yep. And a lot of people
Wow.
don't know these little details. And this is why I continue to speak, because it is now in this season, in a time such as this, that people's ears are open to the truth. Most people believed when I said Puffy shot me that it was hyperbole, that I was, grasping for money. And they always change the narrative. They'll say, oh, this is a money grab. Well, people need to understand that when people, if you go to the county jail right now, whatever city, USA, or wherever in the world you live, everybody at that jail will say, I didn't do it. It's what
Mm.
people do when they're guilty. Everybody and very well, there could be some of them in there who are not guilty. However, the majority of them are, but they
Hmm.
tell you, I didn't do it. That's why we have all these shows with the first 48 and all that, where they're interrogating people and they're like, what you talking about? I swear on my mama, I didn't do it. And then a little while later, they give them a dinner box, a snack box with a pack of chips and some Skittles, and they telling the whole story.
Right.
So
Right.
we remember that people are motivated by whatever they're motivated by to speak, but it doesn't negate what they did, and it doesn't
Mm.
make the person who survived that should have to stay quiet. I'm not ever, as long as I live, I will cry aloud and spare not. I will speak the truth and
Mm,
tell it on the mountaintop forever until God
right.
calls me home and I transition to another realm. I will speak these facts.
Amen. Talk
Indeed.
to us about like right around the time when the guns was being drawn out. What made them draw their guns out at all?
Okay, so when they were coming, ascending the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
a song was on. Whoa by Black Rob. It had just come out. That was their
In peace.
artist.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Black Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And as the song builds into a crescendo at the beginning, it's very chilling at the instrumentation. So they were hype. You know, it was their new song out. They were hype and they were, pushing and bragging and just very braggadocious kind of, you know how people get when they feeling themselves. They're
Hype.
pushing,
They
they're
hype
doing
in the
all this,
club. They
coming up
elbow
the
throw them
stairs.
bows. Yeah, they getting hype right now, and it's
Exactly.
building up.
And
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
what's happening. So as the crowd approached us, Shine saw myself and my homegirl Kelly and reached over and touched our hands. He was like, Eb, Kelly. And he touched our fingers. And I was like, hey, what up, Shine? And literally, while that was happening, Puffy bumps into Scar. But Scar's back is to him. He doesn't know who's bumping into him. He's facing the bar. When he bumped into him, he spilled his champagne or whatever he was drinking on him. And so instinctively, he threw his bowls back for whoever bumped into him. When he threw his bowls back and he turned around, they're like, oh, you know who I am, and you better recognize, and we got money in out here. And so Scar's friend was like, we getting money too. And he had a wad of money in his hand and he slapped Puffy. Whop with the wad of money, and the money just flew to the sky and started raining down. So people were scurrying, trying to get money. It was just,
Wow.
I knew instantly. I told my friend, I said, oh my God, this is not going to turn out right. Once he slapped him with that money, I instantly see, so they got into a scuffle, but I instantly see Puffy and Scar reaching for their waist and backing back to the front door. So the direction they were originally walking to, now they're facing the bar,
Mm-hmm.
and they start retreating to the front door while
Wow.
simultaneously reaching in their waist to pull from their hip. And I
Mm.
tell my friend, oh no, watch out. Because I think to myself, this is getting ready to get crazy. Now, here's the thing. Instinctively, I saw them pulling their guns, but I thought it was male ego trying to brag. I didn't think they were going to shoot. I thought they were going to fight. I
Especially in
thought the
a
gun
crowded
was, I thought the point of
club.
the gun was trying to show somebody like, look, I got a gun, and then whatever, they would scuffle it out. I did not think that they would fire those guns. I will be honest. That is my naivete, because 25 years later, I know for a fact I bear the scars and the bullets. I got the bullet 9 fragments in my face, so I know.
Mm.
Looking at them the whole time, and I tell my friend, oh my God, watch out, they're gonna fire. As soon as I'm turning back from telling her that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
turning back to face them, and God says, calm down, you're about to be hit. I'm looking at them, I scream, no! And all of a sudden, pow, pow, the muzzle flash. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I instantly scream, no, God, I'm not finished raising my kids. Please don't take me. I have work to do. I
Wow.
screamed that out instantly because I just got saved. And in
Mm-hmm.
our baptism classes, they taught us when anything happens, you either speak unaliving or you speak life. And I wanted to always speak life. And so I literally scream out, I have to raise my children. I'm not finished doing your work. Let me do your work. I have work to do. This is why I have this. This is why
Mm-hmm.
this is why I'm here now, and I'm able to still speak 25 years. I've spoken all through this 25 years. I said immediately, Puffy shot me. I watched him. I
Mm.
watched him shoot me. But I'll tell you how dangerous they are. From the very onset, they set out to disguise what happened, to hide it. So, of course, in the Prophet podcast, you will hear them say, whenever there's a shooting in a club,
Mm-hmm.
or it was another police officer. So whenever there's a shooting in a club, the first one out the club is a woman. Women are the first out the door. But the first person out of the door, you'll hear the Prophet podcast say, was Shine. He was the first
Wow.
one out the door. And when he ran out the club, he ran smack dab into a cop. And the gun was in his waist. So the cop snatched the gun out of his waist. He said the gun was still hot to touch. That means he
Wow.
was fired. These are detectives that have retired and were on the police force for an unbelievable amount of years. What is their need and their narrative to lie? They have no,
Right.
they don't get extra brownie points. There's no Scooby snacks for them. This is their retelling of the events that took place. And they said unequivocally the gun was still hot when the cops snatched it out of Shine's waist.
That's
So they
crazy.
snatched him immediately. When the whole barrage of people came out, Puffy, J-Lo, and what really and truly, Puffy left J-Lo. He ran it. Wolf, his bodyguard, had to go back and get J-Lo. You will hear J-Lo say this on her own. There is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a Entertainment Tonight interview or something. It's an old interview.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to run back in and get her. And you will hear Benny Medina and her say this. And the reason I'm sure Benny Medina said that because he was trying to separate, which it really was true, but he said it immediately because he was trying to separate her from the vicinity of the shooting.
Right,
Trying to
right.
let, like, oh, he ran out because remember what I said, Shine and him retreated to the door. He wasn't next to her. She was still with the crowd. They retreated to the door. That's why he was so far away. But if you fire a gun, your first instinct is to run to your own safety. They ran out. Wolf had to go back and get J-Lo. A lot of people seem to forget this or gloss over it. Wolf had to go back in. So at that moment, he didn't even care enough about his woman. And you will also hear the detective say once they scrutinized all of the surveillance tapes, the
Mm-hmm.
only people that walked in the club that weren't searched was Puffy and J-Lo. They didn't even say Shine. They said Puffy and J-Lo. So J-Lo brought them guns in. And she brought Shine's gun in too. Because
Mm.
I don't care where you're from. You know what it is in the hood. Guys that got those ride or die girls, they pass the gun to their shorty, whole list. Because they think who's gonna search J-Lo? Or who's gonna search the girl? They'll search the guy. So you brought everybody's
True.
gun,
Yeah,
but she got away.
I can believe that.
She's not going to get away. She got away then. But the God I serve, he's an on-time God. You see this 25? It ain't,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Mm.
an on-time God. Before I leave this earth, she will feel the recompense and the wrath of God. Our God said vengeance is his.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a jealous God. He's not playing. Anything you put before him, he will snatch it from you. You put your notoriety and your fame and your freedom and all this before God, he gonna snatch it right from you. That's what
Right.
I'm going through right now. And
So
so
I agree. Say so when the guns went off, you said pow pow, like one was higher than the
it,
other.
Shine's was
And
higher and Puffy's was slightly lower.
so let's
And
pick up
here's the
when
thing. And
go ahead.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Thank you for being so diligent about that.
I'm
I
doing good. Am I doing good? I think
doing
I'm
you're
trying.
doing
I'm trying.
great, Mike. You're doing great. And you said you're not great at interviewing, but you are. You are. I'm telling you. Um, and I see increase. I
Mm-hmm.
see increase in your life and your show with more interviews in this coming year. So trust and believe.
Yeah,
But,
Jaguar coming on, but anyway, go ahead.
but that's my sister. Shout out to Jaguar Right.
I
I love
know,
her.
I know. Go
So
ahead.
look at
Anybody who rolls with you, I'm down with. Period.
Asheo and
Ronnie
amen.
Bo, we're gonna talk about that later, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So
Continue.
when I got shot in my face at
Mm-hmm.
this height,
Mm-hmm.
Julius Jones is taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
He got shot in his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It shows the designation between the heights of the bullets that were fired and where they
Mm-hmm.
Julius Jones is in the sixes.
Right.
He got
So
shot
his
in the shoulder
shoulders is so where he got shot at is higher or lower than where you
higher
got.
than me. He's taller than me, so he got
Right.
shot than me.
So
He got
the
shot in his
first
shoulder.
pow hit him and the second pow hit you.
I don't know that the first one hit him. I know that it went pow pow, and that Puffy's bullet, Puffy was straight in the line side of me,
Mm-hmm.
and Shine was over here. So
Okay.
Puffy's bullet smack dab hit me. They could have, I don't know the ratio. I could have been standing for more closer than he was. Either way, those bullets said pow pow and struck us both.
Wow.
And after I screamed out to God, no, I got work to do. When I
Mm-hmm.
looked over to the side, I saw Julius laying on that floor. Everybody was running. It was crazy. I got trampled. I got
Mm.
knocked down and trampled. And my leg was injured too. I tore my medial meniscus. I had to have leg surgery as well. Corrective
Mm.
on my leg. But once they fired the shot, I felt like somebody hit me with a flaming hot sledgehammer. You know how we see on movies or documentaries where they're melding steel or something and it's red and flaming, red and orange flaming
Right.
embers? That's the way that looks. The level of heat and intensity that visually has is how it felt when it hit my face.
Wow. That's crazy.
I literally, when the first person I looked at, they grasped their mouth and was like, oh, and backed away in disgust and shock and horror. And I just kept thinking, oh my God. Like,
Mm.
I literally instantly felt my body start to particulate. And those of you who have watched Star Trek, when they say beam me up, Scotty, and they start to pixelate and they disappear, that
Mm.
is what my body felt like instantly. I started to pixelate and I knew I was no longer solid flesh because I felt people had run to the door and it
Mm-hmm.
was cold December morning. And when that door flung open and that icy cold chill came in, I felt it come to me and pass through me and go out the back of me like a loosely knit sweater. And I instantly said, I'm dying because I'd never felt this feeling before. I still, 25 years later, have nothing to compare that feeling with. It was a unique feeling unto itself. And that's why I can remember it so succinctly because it was not like anything I'd ever experienced or since. And
Mm.
whatever transition I made, whether I made a transition from my flesh person to my spirit person, that happened in that moment. I'm
Mm.
certain.
Right.
Um, and everybody was running to and fro trying to get somewhere. People were afraid. It was just a melee. And when I got trampled, I started feeling through the crowd. Some people fell on top of me, and I started touching on the floor and touching for my friends, like, calling their names. Stacy, Kelly, y'all okay? Y'all okay? Diane, y'all all right? And I'm calling everybody's name, and I feel somebody touching my hand. They're like, yeah, we all right, Ab, we fine, we all right. And I said, I'm not all right. She said, yes, you are. I said, no, I got shot. And she started pushing people off of me. And this young lady she pushed off of me, I remember the young lady holding her hair and looking at it like this, looking back at it, and it being covered in my blood. It was just, I was spraying blood.
Wow. Oh
And she
my God.
literally was feeling her hair like, ew, what is this on me? And she was like just repulsed. And my friend was pushing them off, and everybody started screaming and jumping like, ah. And it just was chaos.
Mm, mm, mm,
But
mm,
in
mm.
a matter of no time, everybody just started to scatter. Everybody started to scatter. Just, it was terrifying. Everybody was trying to get somewhere. And so while everybody was running away and trying to get somewhere and get to safety, the only two people that ran to me were these two young ladies that I'd known from Brooklyn, Keisha and Red.
Okay.
A few months ago, I recently found out that a friend of mine, Missy Lou, put up a picture on, I think it was Instagram or something like that. She put up a picture, and it was a picture with Red, uh, Little Kim, herself, and another girl named Masada. When she
Mm.
put that picture up, she put everybody's name, but she put rest in peace to Red. I broke down crying. I was devastated because Red, and then I subsequently found out that Keisha has also passed away. They were sisters. Red and Keisha saved my life. They saved my life. And so I always say, as much as possible, I don't know if Red and Keisha had children. Of course, I lost contact with all of them when I had to be relocated by the district attorney's office because Puffy had put a hit on me. And they
Mm.
had a credible threat from a confidential informant that there was a bag on my head and they were trying to take me out. I had to be relocated by the district attorney's office. I lost contact with all of those people. I'm over,
Mm.
by the grace of God, through social media, I can still see people and see things. I was devastated to find out. That was a very sore point for me. That just happened a few months ago. It was a very sore point to me to find out that they are no longer with us because they are my angels. When I tell you they saved my life, and I will forever speak their name. I will forever speak their name. I'm so grateful. When everybody else ran away, they ran to me. One dove over the bar and got a bunch of paper towels to give me, and the
Mhm.
other came and was like, and she had the fortitude to not grab me. Red was like, "Come on, Ab, just walk over to me. Come to me. Come to me."
Mm. Mhm.
Try Had the wisdom to know not to grab me and put me in shock. I will never forget that. I will never forget that. In fact, like you said, the carrot story, they are the ones that got me to the carrots. When
Right.
there was a door opening on the side that, we had in our periphery, I saw some people run past. And
Mm-hmm.
guy with long locks, I remember him vividly, and it was like two or three other women there. And they were running into this door. The door opened and they were running in, and it was the side door I had been standing at all night. I didn't even know it was a door there because it was all painted. It was monochromatic, so you couldn't distinguish a door from the wall. And
Mm.
when that door opened, we saw a bunch of bright light peer into us. And I said, hold, or she said, hold the door. And
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine in their fear, they ran in to slam the door. And she said, open, she went and banged and said, open this effing door, open this effing door. And they eventually opened the door and we got in. And when we got in, people were moving to and fro. And I was awestruck by, the classic black and white checkerboard tiles.
Right, right, right.
Checkerboard tiles, but it looked like 9 million bloody feet print in my blood going in every direction. And I was
Yeah, I remember that part of your
stoic
story.
and terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some, I always say, no disrespect, they looked like Mexican men, short Mexican men. They all had on half aprons. They had
Right.
aprons, were full aprons, but they were just, the top part was folded down and they just were half around them. And they were standing still. They were stoic. But
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the people were running around trying to get somewhere or get to safety. And I just was, the only thing that was stationary and looked still and strong were these boxes of carrots, 5 boxes of carrots stacked kind of askew. Like they weren't in a straight thing. They were kind of like somebody was putting the boxes, so they threw one down and then put one in. It was kind of sideways and the next one kind of sideways. And they
Mm-hmm.
were 5 boxes tall, but they looked so strong and steady. And I had my bag on my hand through the loop of my bag. And I
Mm-hmm.
literally just was holding the paper towels to my face. And I went and stood by the carrots. And I held
Mm.
a box of carrots because they held me up. Like they were the only thing that looked strong enough to hold me up. And it was just this amazing, weird experience. Like I don't know what to call it. Like, I mean, I know it sounds weird, but those carrots mean something to me to this day.
Exactly. That's
Because
the
when I wasn't able to hold myself up, they held me up.
right. Right. Oh my goodness. This is I cannot believe how your friends can actually witness and be there and see all this happen and all these people, then all of a sudden
Disappear.
they just disappear like, all right, this is too
Disappear.
big for me. But what about your friend? So imagine if it's too big for you, so you're going to it's too big for her too. So now she got to take it all by herself.
But to God be the glory. This was the beginning of my faith walk. God said, I will, the word says, if God can trust you with a little bit, he knows he can trust you with much. And
Mm,
so, God, along the lines of your life, you will ask God for things and he will give you a little. And you'll be like, God, I needed this much and you gave me a little bit. God is testing to see what you're going to do with that little bit. If you are willing to suffer gladly and not be weary in well doing, God will test you. And the
right,
length of your test has to do with God and whatever lessons you need to get and whatever journey you need to take.
right. So
Also, through my experience, he wanted to teach people a lesson about faith. I
right.
promise this is about faith, the evidence of things unseen. Let's see how steadfast this woman is. Let me see how
Mm,
long she is willing to cry aloud and spare not and speak the truth without any evidence of getting what she is called for and the success and the justice. Let me see how long she's willing to walk this walk, and I will give to her an abundant blessing. She would not have enough things to carry it in.
yeah, tell me about
That's
it.
what this is. This is
Right.
not just an experience for me. This is a lesson for the world. I literally, God has used me as his vessel to exemplify to the world what faith looks like.
What it
What
looks like.
faith looks like.
What it
Remember,
looks
I
like.
didn't have examples of success throughout this. Yes, I had a civil settlement from him and he had to pay it. Shine still owes me $500,000 from that settlement and I want it and I'm going to get it.
Right.
However,
That's one
I
of the
literally,
questions. Yeah, that's one of the questions I had for you because somebody who think that you're lying sent me
it's in the,
documents, and I keep telling people, I said, you don't know, like, I think the document said that it was $1.8 million or something you sued Puffy or something. I mean, you
so
don't have
no,
to
that's
tell us
not
if
how.
you don't want.
So those are portions that I can't speak on, and that's not how much I sued him for. And those are portions I can't give definitive. But
Right.
I absolutely unequivocally got a settlement. It's not in dispute. It's not in dispute with anybody. And Shine still owes me money.
Right. And the thing that tripped me out is see, the news tells you one thing and put these
Of course,
numbers up there.
of
But
course.
long story short, that ain't the numbers that hit your bank account. And I'm talking from experience.
No, no, no.
Is
I
that
sued him
fair?
for way more than that. I sued him
Huh?
for way more than that.
Yeah.
I sued him
But
for way more than that. And this is how it was structured by the attorneys. Um,
right. But
I,
I guess my question, I mean, I'm the for that dude can shut up. Did a large sum of money hit your bank account?
yes,
Oh,
they know,
okay.
they
Yeah.
know that. Listen, let me tell you what's
Good. Well,
let me
good.
tell you
I'm
one
happy
thing that
for you.
our
Good.
people, let me tell you one thing that our black people need to do. They need
Come
to
on
get
now.
the act right and stop pocket watching. That's from the block. Stop pocket watching. What is the cost? What is the expense of 25 years of toiling with 9 bullet fragments in my face, with a seizure disorder, traumatic brain injury, migraines, all types of PTSD, all types of physical impairments, a torn medial meniscus, leg surgery, aspirated a bullet that was going down to my lungs, and they had to go in, slice my mouth from the very front all the way down my throat to remove this bullet fragment, not the least of which is social anxiety disorder, a whole host of physical problems. My
Can't
brain
put a
would
value
swell
on
so,
that.
my head would swell so bad. Listen,
You
what I
can't
got
put a
was
value
nowhere
on
near
that.
where I was supposed to get. And you can't put a number on that. But people, everybody, but black people mostly, need to stop pocket watching and trying to determine who is entitled to something as opposed to who is not. What you're doing is hating. And let me tell you something good. Hear me today and take it as gospel. If God chooses an anointed one, someone that he deems to be chosen, and he sets out a blessing and a mission for that chosen one, even if they have to walk through a journey, any part of that journey that you speak against, that you fight against, that you try to interrupt, God will strike you. You will be struck in a way you cannot recover from. I'm telling you, mind your business. Let me put that for
Yeah.
me and for everything going forward. Mind your business. That
Right.
includes content creators who take their time to gaslight, use your name, write horrendous. I mean, one that's laughable. I have to laugh at it all the time. I thought it was hilarious, and it is not the flex that he thinks it is. He called me a Haitian voodoo priestess with a fake Jamaican accent. He said a few other things too, but that's the part I remember. It's laughable. I'm
Mm.
not the flex you think it is, boo. There is no insult of being Haitian. My godmother and a whole lot of my family and play cousins are Haitian. I love
Right.
them. My grandchild's family is Haitian. I love it. And Haitians are the first black nation to win their independence, boo. 1804. Get yourself right. Act
Mm.
like you get some act right. When you think you coming for me, you coming for yourself. Any
Wow.
hole you think you dig for me, you're digging for yourself. You cannot
Mm.
touch. Father God said, touch not my anointed ones and
Right.
do profit no harm. Keep
Right.
on. Are you here? Keep on messing with me. You hear? You are
Right.
damning yourself to eternal damnation. Have at it, boo. Have at it.
And plus, one of the things that people don't realize is you got 2 kids. And when this
Three.
incident, well,
I
3
have
kids,
three. I had two when it happened, but
right,
I have
when it
three.
happened. That's what I'm saying. Well, when it happened, you had 2. There's no money amount that can go
No,
through the strain that they went through as well. What
listen.
about, because I remember you said telling the story about your son had to put on blinders to help
Mhm.
you shower or bathe and all that stuff. You want to talk about that?
Absolutely. My son had to put on, so you know that little sleeping mask that people wear? He would put on a sleeping mask and hold me up because, like I said, my leg was in, I had a whole leg I had leg surgery, and then I was in this large leg immobilizer that went all the way up. We had to cover it in garbage bags. I couldn't, and I told you my equilibrium is off, so I couldn't hold myself up, but I had to bathe. My son would hold me up while I bathed because he didn't want to dare look on his mother's naked body. My son, I literally spoke to my son the other day. He was visiting for the holidays. I said, let me ask you a question. How does all of this impact your life? How do you feel? What is your take on it? And he was like, Mommy, he paused for a long time, and he just was like, I am so happy. I lived to see everything that we endured. It was this case, he reminded me, that caused him to start having anxiety attacks. He
Mm-hmm.
had his first anxiety attack in school because kids were teasing him that his mother got pow by Puffy. And he had an anxiety attack in school. He reminded me of that. And he says he feels triggering again. He didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to trigger me or take away the joy of the recompense that I'm receiving now.
Can you
That,
imagine that?
yeah, and he's 35. This happened when he was 7.
Can you imagine that? He took all that for his mother. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know you're going through stuff, Mom. So
I
I,
do.
I don't even want to burden you with the stuff I'm going through. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and I'm gonna be a man and take it.
And
That's
and
crazy.
and I because I make sure to ask all of my kids, how is this impacting your life? My
I'm
middle
glad you
son,
did that.
my middle
I'm
son, he don't want he don't want no attachment, no nothing. He don't want his face, no nothing. He does not want it. He has always been like that. I don't want to be attacked because it is heavy. He went through his own stuff. He
mm,
endured a lot. You understand? My kids
mm,
endured a lot. And then my daughter, just the other day, I was doing, I think I was doing a live, and my
hmm
daughter texting me. She was like, "Oh my God, Mommy, I feel so awkward." And I was like, "What? What's going on?" And she's like, she was in, I think, her AP literature class or somewhere, maybe honors. She's all AP, all honors. My
hmm
child is, all of my children are brilliant. And she said, they're talking about the case. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so uncomfortable. And I was like, oh no. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I've done this to your life. Like, please don't feel inclined to say anything, and don't let them know. Like, and he was like, they're talking about, but they're saying so many things. There's so many opinions, and so many of them are wrong. And I was like,
Right, right.
don't feel the need to correct them. Don't.
Can you
I was
imagine?
terrified.
These are your kids? Can you imagine what they going through? And you, as a mother, you're trying to help them go through the truth that they know that
Mm-hmm.
happened to they
Firsthand.
mommy,
Mm-hmm.
and you
First.
sitting there trying to support them because you know it happened to you.
Exactly. Well, listen, we can't erase it. It is the center of our existence. And you know what he said to me? He said, I don't ever want you to think I don't support you. My
Hmm
silence is not a lack of support. It is holding myself in the middle of the road and keeping steady so I don't break down again. He's like, I don't want to fall back into anxiety attacks, but I'm so concerned about your safety because now that these people are losing everything, they are more inclined to do harm. I worry about you guys. And
Right.
I really
How
had,
can you put a value on that? You can't put a money value on that. It's
I had,
almost like you don't want the money. I just want all this to be gone. Take
yeah,
the money and the stuff to be gone.
my
That
son,
way I can
like,
live a normal, happy life.
and here's the deal. I had the ability to do so. Even though I continue to beat the drumbeat and speak that this man did this to me, I did have some anonymity. I had a
Hmm
girlfriend that was on my 25th special the other day, Chessa. We were friends for years. I never told her who I was, like that I was the woman that got shot. We were
hmm
friends for years. She had no idea. She only found that out probably 5 years ago because she was at work one night on YouTube, and a story came up about me, and she was like, "What? This is my friend. That's what? I gotta call her now. This is craziness. What are they
Right.
saying? This can't be true. I know this woman." And when
hmm
she called me, she was like, "Hey, they up here saying you got shot by Puffy. What? I know you. How? What are they talking about?" I said, "I did." She was like, "That was
Wow.
you?" She was
Wow.
shocked. But here's the thing, and why I love her so much. She never switched up on me. She never
hmm
changed. She never modified how she treated me. Nothing. It was
hmm
always consistent. And I can't say that about everybody.
Right, right,
All the
right.
people that came up and spoke positively about me, there are some people who switched up on me, got brand new. And I can only imagine that it was the hidden hand paying them.
Mm, mm, mm. I want to say shout out to FFS. He dropped the super chat or super sticker, whatever y'all super call this stuff. And he says, "Oh, where my glasses at? Dopest nerd. My love goes out to you. Glad you are here now. Most
Thank you.
definitely. We are so glad. I am I am glad that you got the strength to tell your story, keep going. And it's amazing how people uh try to use your story and
Mhm.
everything for their personal benefit.
Yep.
And I'm here to let you know that this whole channel, I'm wishing that the Lord will bless it with $1 million because we're gonna give back and help. We're doing the best we can to
Mhm.
help people.
Mhm.
That's the only two words I want everybody to know that's coming out my mouth. Help people. When people need help, imagine everybody think they know what's good for other people, man. I can't shame on you for people that's listening that know that I'm talking about you. Shame on you to have the
Mhm.
audacity to point the finger at somebody else when you can't even get your own life together. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what that is, Mike. People will never consider like you hear a lot of people that are still like, oh, they just trying to tear a good black man down. You know why those people can't see, hear, receive the information that they are guilty? Because they are in their own lives doing the very same thing to someone. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're actively participating in a level of evil, wickedness, deceit, it's hard for you to judge another person for doing the same thing you're doing. You find a way to minimize it away and say, oh, this person is they lying, or the young people they capping, they want clout. When I tell you that used to irritate me, I had to say, okay, don't let it
Mm-hmm.
in, because they weren't even alive. Most of them that are up there with the she's capping, she want to take a good man down. No, I'm not. They
And they don't
accused
even know the whole story. That's the part
no.
that killed me. They don't
And
even know half the story.
how could they? They weren't born. Some of them were in diapers. How could you know the news? That's what I tell people. You don't really know who your parents are because you weren't there. You only know them under the guise of them being your mother and rearing you. But who they were as individual people prior to your existence, you don't have the gravity of the weight. You have to let that be, you have to elicit that information from people. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about my mom. Tell me about my dad. You don't know. So a lot
Wow.
of people out here trying to minimize their parents and put their parents down. You old, you slow, you this. You don't know who your mama is. Your mama could be the flyest thing out. And so could your daddy. Talk to
Right.
your uncles. That's what you got uncles and aunts for. So they can tell you that which you could never know firsthand. But
Come
with
on
love
now. You
and with
know.
eye, people gotta factor those
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
things, people gotta factor those things in. But
Yeah.
I appreciate my kids for, and I always want to check in with them. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate them for supporting me in this journey. It wasn't easy. There was a time where after I got hurt, I fell so deep into depression and into this vulnerable state that my children became my sons. They were the only ones that existed at the time. My daughter is
Mm-hmm.
significantly younger. My sons became the parents and I was the child.
Right.
They
Um
me.
have, have you heard of Ali Carter, right?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. Ali Carter. And here's the thing that some people say, well, what are y'all doing? What is Ali Carter doing to help the kids? What is Natasha doing to help? What is they just talking? What are they doing what is Jaguar Wright doing to help? Okay, let's take
And
that same question and ask you, what are you doing to help? Because right now
thank you.
here's
Thank
what here's what we're doing. At least we're putting the message out there.
you.
Big homie CC, at least all these people putting the message out there, they taking up because nobody believed your message. I didn't believe it.
It's
I
okay.
didn't believe your that she lying. She ain't get shot. And then when you start putting the puzzle together and you start saying, Jesus Christ, this girl got shot in the face by
Mm-hmm.
Puffy.
And I'm gonna
Because
tell you,
did you?
the
Mm-hmm.
largest part of the bullet is right here.
Right.
I've been having this morning. I woke up. I don't know, for the past few days, something has been going on with this eye.
Right.
I don't know
So
if you could see when I was on the anniversary special, I kept rubbing this eye. Something's going on right now with this eye.
so
I don't know.
if you would have came to the club with those high heels on, right?
No, I came to the club with the high heels
I
on.
mean, without
When I got
that's me.
trampled,
Yeah,
the
you're
heel
right. Go ahead.
broke.
Talk about that. That's what
So
I want to hear.
when I got trampled, one of the heels on the boot broke.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I got out of surgery and in the hospital, and the surgeon came to the bed and he was like, "Wow," I had to come. He came by my room and he was like, "Hey, kiddo, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm good. To God be the glory. Thank you." And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "I am so shocked to know that you are not only that you survived." He said, "The path that the bullet took in your brain, there's no reason you should still be here. There's really
Mm,
no reason." He said, "But not only are you alive, you're in here awake and talking." He said, "I'm a man of science. I've always been a man of science. I don't disrespect anybody's religious beliefs or whatever, but I'm a man of science." He said, "But one thing I know today, that there is a God, because you are a living miracle. The path that the bullet took in your head, you should not be here." He
mm-hmm.
said, "I've never seen a person survive that level of injury." So this is to let you know God is in the midst of it all.
Mm,
Not only
mm-hmm.
am I here, not only did I survive then, I'm here 25 years later through the thick of it. It
Mm,
was not an easy journey. I will
mm-hmm.
not act like this was an easy road to walk. It was not by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. So
So
if
what he said was, "What's this I hear about a boot?" And my mother said, well, he said, "What's this I hear about a heel?" So my
mhm,
mother said, "Oh, by then the heel had completely separated from the boot." So she said, "Oh, her boots are in her belongings. You know how they put your stuff under the bed?"
right, right,
So
right.
she goes in the little plastic bag and she takes out the boot and the heel. He
Mm-hmm.
took the heel and he put it to my nose, and he said, he just let out a sigh and just hit his hip. He's like, "Let me tell you something." He said, "Had you been wearing flats, you wouldn't be here. The heel of the boot from my entry point to the smack dab in the middle of my forehead." He said, "If you were wearing anything shorter than this heel, that bullet would have smacked you smack dab in the middle and took you out instantly. You would not be here."
Wow.
Hallelujah.
So
Ashayo. The
mm,
goodness of God and obedience.
mm-hmm.
God
Come on
told me to
now.
go change my shoes. I could have easily darted out of that door because they were blowing the horn and frustrated. But my
Mm-hmm.
walk with God is not by chance. What is God speaking to you in your life right now? Everybody at the sound of my voice that you are not being obedient with. Write
Mm-hmm.
that book. Tell your story. Speak your
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Mm.
Quit that job.
Mm-hmm.
Take that job.
I
Start
quit
that
that
business.
job. Right. That
Start
is
that business.
mm,
Leave
mm,
that.
mm.
Marry that woman. I don't care what it is.
That
God
God is
has
saying you do.
telling all of you that you had something to do. Do it. The longer it takes for you to do it, the longer it takes for you to get from glory to glory. Do it.
Mm-hmm. And start helping people.
Obedience. Obedience. Obedience.
Mm.
Obedience. Faith. Obedience. Be not weary in well doing. Be not
A,
weary in well doing.
a lot of people, I got I got the book, right?
Mhm.
And you told me to read the book, and I tried, but that Courtney dude that didn't even read the book himself, and I started reading it and everything. I still haven't gotten to the part where you're in this book.
You got to get to that chapter, Mike. You got to
Yeah, I
get
gotta get. I'm sorry. I'm telling on myself because I promised you I was gonna read it. So I'm gonna read it.
get to
I've
that
been so
chapter.
busy.
But I'll give your audience a little note on what
Please.
the chapter is. So before that book came out, I was contacted
Mm-hmm.
and told, "I have something that you need to see." And I was like,
What?
"Who is this? And where'd you get my number?" And
Mm-hmm.
they said, and I didn't answer at first, but I was saying these things to myself, like, "Who is this? I don't know what this is." And so I didn't trust. That's one of my main things, trust. And I couldn't trust it. I was like, "What is this out of the blue?" This is before any of this started. And they said, "I have something you need to see. It's about to be published, but I need you to see it first. I don't want you to find out when everybody else finds out." And it
Mm,
was portion of the book that said when they were in the house, that J-Lo came to the house the next day banging on the door, and she screamed at him and said, "What the F is wrong with you? Why did you shoot that lady in the club? We got security to do that." Well, you brought the guns in, heifer. So what do you?
Mm,
But it's the Kim writes about J-Lo coming to the house the next day, going crazy on him about the fact that he shot me. And he was
right.
blasé and passe about, oh, don't worry, you will never spend a day in jail. Well, he was right about that part because he said, we're going to get off. Money talks and all this stuff. And he was right up
Right.
until this. But the God I serve.
But the fact of the matter is that somebody actually printed out that J Lo saying, "Why did you shoot?"
Mhm. Why did you shoot?
Meaning that Puffy shot a gun in the club.
But here's the thing: everybody in New York knew it. It wasn't no secret.
Right, I
This
know.
thing was buzzing in the streets. Everybody knew he did it.
And then
But it
you
was the
have the
money and the sleight of hand.
police officers or somebody saying that I saw a white hand toss the gun on that guy's hood of his car.
Mike, you're excellent at interviewing. Don't ever doubt yourself, brother. Because
I'm
even
just
Tucker,
I'm just
I
looking for the truth.
yes. So in that, after the gun was fired and they escaped from the club, and Wolf eventually got J-Lo, she got in the truck. They were already in the truck. They instructed the driver to flee. And this was just a regular guy like you and me working. He was the driver. He like, what? They like, you better go drive. So they take off from the club and they're speeding through red light upon. They
Red
ran
lights and
through red
everything.
lights and the cops started chasing them. They ran so far. Where the club is Midtown South. Where they ended up getting arrested is Midtown North. And I already told you, New York City blocks are long and they ran mad red lights. They was fleeing to get away. Now, the
Mm.
cops chased them, but while the cops was chasing them, a white hand came out of the rear passenger window of the they were in a Lincoln Navigator, and a white hand came out of a Lincoln Navigator, a little white, they said a female's hand, threw the gun out the window and it landed on this man's car. He was sitting in the car. He's one of those guys that drive escorts, to
Hmm.
their gigs and back home. So when the gun landed on his car, he said that when the Navigator continued to flee, then he saw some cops flying behind them. And he was just like, what is going on? So, excuse me. Let me plug in my phone so it doesn't die. I
Right, right,
apologize.
right, right. But the thing, yeah, take you, girl, you at home. You do what you need to do. You are at home. And
So
I don't,
he,
man, I don't know how much time you have, but you know, we ain't even finished the daggone. I love you. I love you. That's all I gotta say. You are so beautiful.
thank you.
Hey, you got a home here, girl. Cause I was, hey, I got some people. We'll go to bat for you. I'm just letting you know. All you got to do is accidentally tell me the word.
I appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
most definitely. Cause it's some channels. Shame on y'all. It's some
Mhm.
channel doing some stupidity
Well,
stuff.
here's what it is.
But
Here's
go
what it
ahead.
is. There is a light in me and around me. And I say this in total humility and submission under God. There is a
Mm-hmm.
light and it's attractive. And it attracts the good and the bad. The
Mm-hmm.
bad, they think they're doing whatever they think they're doing. But I'll tell you,
Exactly.
the light is of God. It is, they can't help but to be attracted to me. What they're doing is they're trying to manifest that into something bad, but we know what the word says. They will take something and make it for bad, and God will make it for good. So,
Mm-hmm. I
not in the
cannot
slight.
believe. And then you got Maggie. Poor, she was crying. I was so mad. I said, "Stop that crying! Don't you cry." Cause why would they say all this stuff about me? Forget them.
Here's the deal. What they say doesn't matter to me. I rolls off my back like water on a duck because
She
I
gonna
done
learn.
slayed many giants. Okay, I have slain many giants, and I got a slingshot, some rocks in my hand, and a pocket full of rocks. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about them. Just like David and Goliath.
Mm,
As
mm, mm,
big as
mm,
you
mm.
think you are, it's just a stone throw away. It's
Right.
just a stone
And
throw
this,
away to knock you off of that haughty and nefarious box you're standing on and make you fall
yeah,
to the surface. I'm not going to rebuke them to the depths of hell. I'm going to hand them over. I'm going to rebuke them, but hand them over to God. God
right.
does fighting for me. I
Yeah,
don't.
you
I'm not gonna answer
Shout out
them.
to the LA chick. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Shout out to
Natania.
the LA chick.
Yeah, yeah. Can you see that? I don't know what you can see.
I see LA chick, and let's see. Let me put my glasses back on.
To the Mars. She said
Okay.
to yeah, to the Mars. Oh, you can see that? Oh, because it's real small on the phone. You're using a cell phone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody, you know, our channel, all the this is when you know people don't listen to you, right? Watch this. Anytime somebody sends a donation, my for lack of a better word, thinks she's an accountant. Yeah, I'm talking about you again. Her job is to like, okay, this says 1999. So that 1999 goes toward our fundraiser called Feed, where we feed kids that don't have no food and stuff. So,
Beautiful.
but she telling
Like the
me,
party.
she thank you. She telling me that nah, well, you got to take the 30% out because YouTube take 30% of this money that people donate,
Absolutely.
right?
She's correct.
Right.
She's
She
correct.
right, but she wrong. I said the 1999 go over there. Nah, you got to take out the 30%. No, that person donated $19 to the charity. So the whole church, I paid the daggone
There you go.
30%.
There you go.
I paid the 30%, and she gonna sit there and argue with me. So I'm telling her, let's say it one more time. You done said it 3 times. 4 strikes, you out. That's what I told her. You can do this, or I can sit here and do it because when somebody put $5 up, we put $5 to the account. If they put $10 up, we put 10. 30, but you got to take out the 30. You cheating yourself.
Well, here's the deal. She means well. Give her some grace and mercy.
I
Just
gave her
accept
grace and mercy. 3 strikes, you out. But she got the point now. She got the point
grace
now. Yeah.
and mercy
So
is the way it is. I just think of how many times we said to God, God, please, I promise this time, if you only blah blah blah, I'm going
mm-hmm,
to blah blah. We done
mm-hmm,
did that millions of times.
right,
So far be it from me to put somebody else on a limit of how much grace and mercy they're entitled to when God
right.
has given us an overabundance of it.
We working on music. And you said you write, you still writing? You want to do some singing?
Sure.
I
I
wanna
write.
I got I'm gonna have my people send you. I did a folder of
Mm-hmm.
it's 12 right now. It's just 12 beats from back in the
Okay.
day. I do a lot of
Yeah,
music and stuff.
I
I
love
play
our
5
classic
instruments.
music. I
Yeah.
love some classic music. So what is it, like 90s kind of vibe?
Well, yeah, it's a little hip hop or whatever. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going on vacation. I'm going to the Philippines.
Nice.
And just to show you real quick, Crystal is in the chat. She donated a bunch of shoes and they
Nice.
girlfriend. So we taking these over to the Philippines, different shoes and stuff. It's 2 big boxes. We have a laptop and everything. I'm just showing off how God is using us to do this type of stuff.
God is an awesome God, and He
And
calls.
I actually showed the shoes and stuff to my play sister over in the Philippines, and the kids was like, "Wow, that's for us." Shoes, right? Shoes. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Um we're gonna go over there and we're gonna start a farming. They have land and they have workers, but they can't pay the workers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, well, everybody got to eat, but we got to pay the workers so we can make the food so we can eat, but you got to pay the workers. So
Peanut
we're
butter and jelly
raising,
bread, and
yeah,
so
we
you know.
raising the money to pay the workers, and you ain't gonna believe this. Guess how much? I said, are you sure that's all? They need $250 to farm the land, and that's I think they got like 5 to 8 workers, and they
Because it's
telling me, I'm sorry to ask for that amount. That's a lot of money
mm-hmm.
in pesos because they use pesos.
Mm-hmm.
$250. I said, man, when we finish this, I'm going to get me a big bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Listen,
And they,
that exchange rate, I try to exemplify this to people. The
mm-hmm,
value you place on something that's small, if I can trust you with the little, I can trust.
mm-hmm,
Something
and
may be small in our eyes and massive in someone else's eyes. And so,
right,
out to you for doing that, Mike. Like
right.
doing the work.
Good people know good people, and I
Absolutely.
knew when I saw you. They talk about Sean, but hell, they talked about Jesus Christ.
Hey, that's what my grandmother always said to me when I used to go to her and say, "Grandma, they keep talking about me." She said, "But they talk about Jesus. Who is you?"
Yeah, I like when you
Collected
do
and
that.
gathered me. I was like, "Well, okay then."
I like that accent because I can't do no accents. I can't do nobody's voice or anything like that. Oh, that's Miss Ooh, I am for real. Nafisha Jackson, $10 again. So excited to hear your voice, and I'm sure it's a beautiful as soon as the spirit hits. Yeah, I think she does music. She's trying to do a YouTube channel or something, and we're gonna help her and everything. It is so much help going on
And a way
from the
that you guys,
channel.
yeah, and
Mm,
a way that you guys can help me is go subscribe, be a follower. I have great content. I have
ooh,
great
ooh,
content.
ooh.
It's
Yeah.
a different experience on YouTube, and I'm comfortable standing in my faith. I know it rubs some people the wrong way because
What's
it
your channel? Oh, go on,
demon.
Cookie. No, they already got it up there. They got the link up there. Go on, Cookie.
Thank you. Yes, I'm the dopest nerd. THA, dopest nerd. All of my stuff is the same. The dopest nerd at gmail.com is my email. The dopest nerd, dollar sign dopest nerd. The excuse me, dollar sign the dopest nerd. THA, dopest
Mm-hmm.
nerd on Cash App if you so choose, and everything. We're just dollar dopest nerd everything. The
Do
dopest nerd.
Do you have any music of you singing back even back in the day or anything?
Yeah, I have a song that I did with a rapper on my channel. If you go on my channel, you'll see it has a yellow label on a black record, and it's called "How It's Going Down." Yeah, I did
Wow,
it with a rapper.
wow.
That was back in the '90s.
Yeah, because as a producer, I want to produce some music
Mm-hmm.
for you, Jaguar. Basically, we putting together this. I keep saying CD. They laugh at me because I'm old school. We put
Old
together
school
a
CD.
CD
There you go.
to raise money to help the kids, help
Absolutely.
people that victims and everything.
Twice.
Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put together a money cycle so we can and I really want you to help us decide on what we need to do and what we don't need to do.
Absolutely.
I
It's my
your
pleasure,
voice,
foremost.
yeah, your voice is very big. If you say, Mike, I don't think we need to do that. I'm Yes, ma'am, no problem. You and Jaguar, I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate that. And shout out again to my sis Jaguar. Let me tell you something about this
Mm-hmm.
mighty woman of God. First of all, always watch to see who the masses try to go after and tear down. A lot of people think, oh, that must be the bad guy. No. If too many people are trying to tear one person down, you better check on that one person and see what kind of goods they have in their storehouse because there's something special about them. When a
Right.
bunch of people, like the word says, God will prepare a table before your enemies. Prepare a table for
Mm-hmm.
your enemies. They don't want her voice out there because she is speaking truth for so long, and it is tearing down the negative strongholds.
Right.
She's been tearing down negative strongholds, and they don't like it. When you're not the quintessential victim, see, they like the victim that's and shrugs away and cowers in fear and doesn't ever speak up. That's who
Mm-hmm.
victimizers want to victimize, people who will be so vulnerable that they're afraid to speak up. I am not the quintessential victim. I am not the quintessential anything. I am the only quintessential thing I am is a quintessential faith walker and woman of God. But
Yeah.
for the victimization, I don't check any of their boxes and they don't like me. And that's why they had this bag on my head for all this time because I am going to cry aloud and spare not. You can't get away. The irony is that I was watching YouTube on the 27th. He had
Mm-hmm.
a meltdown Puffy had a meltdown in jail. And they said he was so enraged and excitable and having this anxiety attack or whatever, and he could not calm himself down. They said it took hours for him to get calmed down with some type of breathing techniques or something like that.
Right.
He was asking to go to the hospital. And
Right.
look at it,
Because it's
25
hitting them.
years later,
It's it
it's
it
hitting
takes
him.
it takes some time sometimes. It's hitting you,
It's,
boy. You are, and what make it so bad is people think that what's hitting him is he locked up. No, brother. What's
What's
hitting
hitting
you
him?
is God is telling you that you did a lot of terrible things.
God is, what's hitting him is he cannot calm down on the 27th because he's remembering that December 27th, 1999, where he shot me in the face. And
Mm-hmm.
25 years later, the tables are turned. I
Now,
am having a Jubilee celebration and my glory moment, and he is locked in a box. And guess
now,
where he wants to go? To a hospital, right where I was 25 years ago. And they
now,
said no. And it
now,
was just his manipulation. Now, I don't revel in anybody's suffering. I don't
right, right,
revel
right.
anybody suffering, but I want you to feel that good suffering, because like I said on that TikTok that I made after Little Rod's lawsuit came out and Tisa Tells was reading the lawsuit, I said in that first TikTok, I'm gonna get 1,000,000 tears for every one I shed for you. Drop your tears, fill that bucket.
And what make it so bad is this. You have said, I knew you was gonna make me forget. You had said, I got it, I got it. I'm trying to remember for you. You have said if they would have not lied and paid off people back then, and Puffy would have been put in jail. Think of
Yeah,
all the people that got hurt these other years, 25 years
what the
of
people
pain
suffer.
on other people. These people coming forward, 120 people are being offed.
Mm-hmm.
None of this would have happened if they would have just been honest from the jump and
And
not
listen
take
to me.
bribes and everything.
And listen to me.
That was deep.
Had they just listened to me. Had they just listened to me. My firsthand account, not just a witness, the firsthand victim survivor account. Listen to me and
25 years ago.
25 years ago, all of these people would not have
Now
had.
now think about it. Now the public is only thinking about the 120 cases or whatever, the stuff
There's
they
tons,
know.
there's tons more.
Right.
Tons more.
We talking about the stuff we know about. What about all the stuff we don't know about that he did that he actually got away with? Like blowing up somebody's car. How many times you blew up somebody's car, boy?
Listen. And shout out to Nick's Mountain Goat Productions. I see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
Shout
sorry.
out.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
no.
Mike,
Shout
you
out to
are so lucky to have the lovely Natania on your channel. I am lucky. I didn't say coconuts. Coconut, let me tell you what coconuts is. Natalia, you know I'm a big jokester, right? Thank you so much. I can't stand coconuts. I don't like coconuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like coconut hair. I don't like coconut oil. I don't even like cocoa butter because I don't like coconut. They make me throw up and all this stuff.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't stand coconut. So the chat would throw coconuts up if I'm too loud, I'm getting too ugly because I'm a fighter. Sometimes I'll be in here fighting people. One time a girl she said, well, what is your plan, Mike? We was talking about helping the kids. We
Mm-hmm.
talking about we got a logo that we did. We had made a lot of um we went forward a lot. We talked about the CD, I can make music, the production people, everybody can do this. Let's take what Puffy and them thought they was doing is music, and let's show them how to do it
That's
to
right.
people. That's my thing. You understand what I'm saying? All this negative stuff in the music industry and all this stuff y'all done did to Justin Bieber and Usher and all this stupid stuff. Let's take all the stupid stuff down and say, let's enjoy and have fun. I'm not here to judge and say, well, girl, you can't sing. Put whatever your voice is, you're happy, everybody
Right
happy.
on.
They
Mm-hmm.
they want to hear you. They want to hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
People want to hear you. So whatever you is, let me do the best I can to make this thing with the nice salt and pepper and everything. You understand what I'm saying? So I forgot where I was going.
You were saying that they throw coconuts when you too hype.
So the coconuts come up in the air and it's okay, y'all. Because first they was gonna say pineapples, Kevin Hart used the
Mm-hmm.
pineapple. So I said coconuts. So I let people know when they come on, if you see coconuts, they that means they don't like what you're saying, Mike. They don't.
And
So
guess what? You might be missing your blessing because coconut is so healthy for your body, minds, everything.
here we go. Here we go, y'all. No coconuts. He says that. Natalia, everybody says that. They say, but coconut is one of the best things for your skin, your hair.
It's an antimicrobial, antibacterial. It is so good for your oral health care.
Hmm.
Coconut. If you put coconut oil every morning and do oil pulling, it's one of
Hmm.
the healthiest things you could do for your body.
That's
And
one
it's healthy
thing.
internally as well. If you drink coconut water, all of that is so good for you. The coconut jelly, you're missing out.
Hmm. Yep, I am missing out, and I'm gonna keep missing. I'm going to get me some Kentucky Fried Chicken after this is over
Mike said, later for your coconuts. I got this Kentucky Fried Chicken. I ain't mad at you, Mike.
with. Man, okay. I wanted. Well, we hit on enough. I don't like to talk about other people's channels. If that's the way they run their channels, that's their business. But that you was on with Maggie before, and you was on with Sean
Shout out to
Otwood,
Shout out to everybody who's been supportive in this landscape. Jaguar Wright,
right?
Odell, Sean Atwood channel, your
Yeah,
channel, of course, Mike.
Ronnie Bo. That's what I
Gave
wanted to talk to you. That's the last thing I wanted to talk to you about. Ronnie Bo. You heard that, but he was only in jail for he didn't overnight in jail.
Mm-hmm.
He went into hiding on his own, so to speak. Did you hear that?
I did. I
Okay,
did. And
okay. I just wanted to make
first
sure
and
you.
foremost, yeah, I knew. So when we first realized that Ronnie was missing,
Hmm.
one of my subscribers realized it. She got that email and tried to call him and couldn't get him. So she instantly started. She sent me an email and I didn't get it. And then shout out to Auntie Leah. I didn't get it. And so while I was on the phone with my mod, shout out to the dopest mod locked. We were on the phone, and then I started hearing these little chimes in the background, like ching ching on my other
Hmm.
phone. And who is sending me a bunch of cash apps? Well, we're doing a fundraiser. And if any one of your people want to help, we're doing a fundraiser. We went to Chick-fil-A. The young kids were standing outside in the cold with no coats on. When I asked them, why don't you have on a coat? She said, we have to buy a Chick-fil-A coat to wear to stand outside to do Chick-fil-A's work. And she's like, I'm young. I don't really have it like that. So I don't want to take my paycheck to buy a coat. I'm trying to do some things. And I
What?
just was so saddened by that. Yeah, we're doing a fundraiser. I wanted to at least help 4 of the kids. Now, when I did go up to Chick-fil-A, I was told that I could not videotape them. So I was like, okay, but we're still doing we didn't reach our goal yet. We're trying to do a fundraiser to just help them, give them gift cards and let them buy their coats so they don't have to take it out of their paycheck. I thought that was
Right.
crazy. And it
See,
was
I'm different. When
it
people
was
tell me
brick
I
out there,
can't
Mike. It was
record,
brick, okay? And
yeah,
this girl had on this little, like like a fleece. You know what a
right.
little
So
fleece,
but
like a
they
little
can't wear
fleece.
their personal coat
No,
because it
they
got to
have
have
to wear a
Chick-fil-A stuff on
Chick-fil-A
it.
logo on it, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I would have been
So we
filming.
haven't met our threshold. So if you guys want to help with that, feel free to send something to $THA. Now since my channel rose, somebody done went and made a THE dopest nerd cash app. Don't fall for the okie doke, y'all. Everything with me is THA. So THADOPESTNERD. $THADOPESTNERD. The dopest nerd. Do not send it to THE because somebody's trying to slick y'all. And if
Hmm.
blessing, just write in the line for the coats, and we will be able to go get them. Reach our goal
Hmm.
and be able to give them their coats. Because and it was a tough season to try to do that because people are trying to get gifts for their kids and things like that. People are struggling. We understand what it is, but we do want to be a blessing to these young people because it was just far too cold. I thought that was crazy. I'm like, you got to buy a
Right.
coat.
And then they're
Get up.
gonna tell you that you can't film. Don't you are bored.
But now what I will do though is do the still shots. I will do still
Hmm.
shots, but they
I would
they said
film. I would. What make it so bad? I have 3 cameras on this. You said I can't do what? Film this, y'all. You said I can't. Why I can't film?
well,
Because
listen, I don't
you
know. I'm gonna
yeah.
have my daughter. I will have my daughter doing some background, like filming from a distance with her cell phone,
Right.
just so we're not in their face, violating anything. But I will have her catch it. That's my
Well,
trusty show producer that you guys hear me talk about all the time.
yeah, I'm not gonna show my cameras, but if this is law, I got criminal justice degree, and I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to tell people that if you got okay, this is your private property,
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A, for example. But if
Mm-hmm.
you on public property filming into the Chick-fil-A, they can't say nothing.
Yeah. What I'll do is have her from by the
Hmm.
car. They're not like in a mall. They are a standalone whole Chick-fil-A
Right.
complex. So
On the outside of the mall,
any
like a McDonald's or
any
something.
no, not at the mall. They're on the street. So they
Right,
are
like a
literally
McDonald's on the street.
exactly. So
You
they're
ride
in
down the
an
street, you see
entire
Chick-fil-A.
phone.
Right, so you can stand right at the highway with a zoom in
And
and
so
have your body microphone on and all that. I got all that equipment.
yeah,
I'm dangerous, girl. I'm dangerous.
listen, I see a rule breaker, my own kind.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll have my
Yeah,
daughter standing by the car filming so that we're not directly in their face. But
right.
I'm excited for them to get this because she was so cold out there, and I was just like, it broke my heart. And my daughter
Mm-hmm.
was, wow, mommy, like I feel so blessed because if it was me, I would be like, forget it, I don't need this job. Like it was cold out there, and I
Mm-hmm.
that to be so weird. I was like, you assigned them outside. When they signed up for a job, they didn't sign up to stand outside. You assign them out there. If nothing else, as a corporate entity, I think they need to just buy jackets, have them there, so when somebody is assigned, they can use the jackets, and then you just launder them frequently. Like that sounds like it makes sense to me. But who am I to tell them?
Yeah.
All we can do is stand in the gap and do what we can do when we are
Everybody, right.
injustice. We are
We were
called
talking about a Chick-fil-A. I always see the long lines at
super
Chick-fil-A.
long.
How
Super
many
long. You know how long
every
they got
Chick-fil-A
to
should
go?
buy what 5 to 10 jackets
Yeah, and just
for
have
these
them.
kids.
Yeah, she
That's
had this
that.
little like red fleece kind of sweater thing, and I was just like, "Ain't no way." As a mother, I'm just like, "Why you ain't got no jacket on, girl?" She's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Where?" I said, "Where's your jacket?" She's like,
Right.
"I have my actual coat inside, but I can't wear it."
Mm-hmm.
Why?
But
If
see,
it,
that just shows what type of person you are, man. I think that if a person concentrates on helping people, it feels so good. It feels so good to me. I don't want to hurt nobody. Why would you want to intentionally hurt a person? I don't
um,
understand that.
people hurt people
Right.
who feel,
But
and
why?
riot is the voice of the unheard. So every time you hear someone yelling, it doesn't mean it's bad. Every time you hear someone, every time someone smiles in your face, it doesn't mean they're in your corner. And every time somebody frowns or has what seems to be an attitude when they're speaking to, it doesn't mean that they're your enemy. Those
Mhm.
people who are frowning could be so protective of you, it hurts them to see you not get it. And that what elicits that thing. Then you have others that smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place.
Ooh, I hear that voice, girl. The
Okay,
backstabbers.
there you go.
I
And then
can't
the
even
other,
hold a note in a paper bag.
listen, and the other ones, and neither can J Lo. But I digress. Um,
Mhm.
there's other people who definitely um, pick on you and do nefarious things because somewhere along the line they're hurt. Somebody cut them, and they are bleeding on everybody else who didn't cut.
Mhm.
And that's what that is. Those content creators that are, focused in negativity and tea and gossip and all that. We too grown for that. I'm a big grown woman. I'm
Mm.
tasteful, and I got an AARP card, and I use it, brother. I love my AAP card. A lot of discounts.
Mhm.
AARP, holla at your girl. I love
One
my AARP card, and
one
I am a AARP generation. I don't have no business involved in no tea and no, let me tell y'all what this gossip is. I don't have no business in none of that.
right.
So I'm in a different demographic. I'm a walk in my lane.
One thing I want to ask you, and it's hard because I don't want to even go into the whole conversation of the little girl Misha. I remember seeing a video where both of y'all was on at the same time, and you was talking to Misha, and you was trying to get her to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about
Um,
um?
I broke. So broken people. Here's what I always say, and I say this in real life to my
Mhm.
people. The devil can only jump into you and use you if there is already a slight opening in your something, in your heart, your soul, your whatever, to
Right,
let him in. When
right,
your body and your mind, your spirit, your soul is shut off to the devil, locked down like Fort Knox,
like
he can't,
mine.
like mine. He
Mhm.
can't get in. But if you already have a seed of discontent in your spirit, in your soul, he can walk on in there. She is the manifestation of a seed of discontent and 5 minutes of fame and $3 And
Right.
baby, that is a perfect storm of what she created. She
Right.
allowed herself to be used and manipulated.
Right.
And they have to find people who feel insecure, insignificant, unheard, unvalued. Those are the ones that will go ape-ish for this
Right.
little 10 minutes of fame. And
Right.
that
And you reached out to that girl. I can tell in your heart and your soul, you told her to contact. Look, you need to stop
because I
talking.
never, you know why? I never talk. If you notice in my interviews, I never talk about the what happened and the negativity. I always say, tell me who you are. Who are you?
Right.
Who did
And
you want
she,
to be when you grew up?
as an adult, as
Mm-hmm.
you, as a mother figure, she
Mm-hmm.
missed it. It went over her head.
You missed it.
She missed it. And I said, she about to miss her blessing
Oh,
because you was ready to take her under your wing
was. I
and
was.
teach and educate
But
her. And
if you
I
watch the rest of the video, God started quaking my soul. I started having what appeared to be an anxiety attack on screen. That
right,
was God telling me something ain't right here.
right.
Something
And I
ain't right here. And I had to go into deep prayer. If those of you haven't seen it, go look for that video. I didn't take it down.
right.
It was the deception that was taking place. See, God will hear conversations in rooms where you are nowhere near, and He will visit you and say,
But they
that's not.
didn't get that. What they got was why she done had an attack and everything on camera. Why she have
And to
y'all
those people
missing
that
it.
say, tell me you don't know God without telling me you don't know God. I mean, because that was the visual manifestation of I being quaked in my soul with and in my body by God. And they still like, oh, what's wrong with her? What you don't want to know God.
Right. It
At that
and
point,
it be
you just don't want to know.
for
It ain't
some
for you.
reason that situation remind me of did you see and this I don't know what made me think about this because it's like this is corny but it's facts.
Mm-hmm,
um Will Smith was in The Pursuit of Happiness,
mm-hmm,
and Will Smith's little kid kept telling the dad these jokes, and he
mm-hmm.
said, it's a flood. And he said, well, don't worry. Everybody leaving. And the pastor said, don't worry, God will save me, like that. And he said, well, I sent a boat. And he said, oh, no, don't worry. God will save me. Now the water getting high. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
well, a helicopter come. Then, oh, no problem. God will save me. And so then he dies and get to heaven. And he says, God, I
God, why
thought you
didn't
was
you
going to
save me?
save me. He said, I sent you 3 or 4 different
Yeah,
people, stupid. and
you just
and
ignored them.
everybody laughed.
Mm-hmm.
God sent you to her, and she overlooked it. That's
Yeah,
what happened in that situation. I couldn't believe it, and I kept saying, "What poor thing?" And she got her own channel now.
I know. I heard that she was on one day for 12 hours straight.
Her and the other look because they know because of Mr. B.
Mm-hmm.
Because see,
Leading
Mr. B
people
got
astray,
500,000 subscribers.
leading
And,
people, leading people astray to their own demise. For what? For what
right,
gain and to gain the world and lose his whole soul.
but both of them now have channels.
And I'm proud of them. I hope God turns them around and they are
Right.
convicted by the Spirit and the blood of Yeshua, and they do something righteous with it.
Right. And
If
Miss
they
English
continue to
had
do
Courtney on her channel
wow.
yesterday. Yeah. And I said, oh my God, I said, you know what? And what make it this is the part that killed me. We was on there. I didn't say nothing, I didn't type anything. We went on there and then I refreshed and it was over an hour and they had like 8 people watching. Then it dropped down to 4 people watching. And I said, oh my God, poor thing. But and then I just left it
But you
alone.
can't make a mockery of good of God's good, his
Right.
goods and he blesses. He created
Hmm.
this platform and this ability for us to, or whoever created, God makes it so
Right.
that his word can go forward and
And
that can we can prepare a table before our own enemies and the other people's enemies in their presence.
right.
You
Oh, uh-oh. I think her battery probably died, y'all. God. Oh, she back.
no. I'm back. Somebody called.
Oh,
People will
okay.
do that when they see me live.
Right,
I have
right.
it all the time. As soon as they see me live, they call me. Which don't do that, guys. That messes up the
Yeah, it does it.
interview. But
And also when and it's funny because going back and forth with the and I don't even want to talk about this too much, but with you and Lionel B, I just want to let you know that when he called himself showing proof that you asked for $5,000.
He what he didn't do was show the entire thread of
The
the
manuscript, the whole
conversation.
manuscript.
Show
But
that he's been trying to target me since March.
right,
What do you want? And invite me and talk about, oh, I know safety is important and your safety and everything, and I want to make sure that you're safe. I want you to come out to my studio. I remodeled my studio, and I want you to be my first in studio exclusive guest in March. We
wow,
at December.
right.
Had it not been for the fact that I pointed that out, he was trying to lure me out for those people to unalive me.
Mm.
That he was trying to lure me out. I don't pay, but I'll pay for all of your airfare, your hotel, your accommodations, everything. Why would I give a random content creator all of my personal information?
Yeah.
Why would I let you fly me from my safe zone behind this screen in
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are in this world
And you don't
with
know what's gonna
people
happen.
where I don't know what's going to happen, who they're around, who's normal to that environment, so they can
Right.
catch me slipping and come and unalive me? I have a child, sir. I have a
Right.
great child, sir. To do such a thing is the most diabolical evil. And that is why, whenever you try, the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You try to touch the anointed one, and look at what you got now. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what you got. You done lost a bunch of them. You can
Mm-hmm.
buy pots and fill back in the ones that you lost, but that's your business. God
Right.
is going to remove you from the mantle that you had because you try to do harm to his chosen one. You cannot
Right.
win. You cannot win when the devil is within. You can't.
The- but when you was talking about this, I think you was talking about on a live stream and somebody in your chat, and I'm watching, I'm in, I'm behind the scenes watching,
Mhm.
and somebody in the chat said, plain and simple, what's wrong with 5,000? If that's her price, that's her
Listen,
price.
first of all, what's wrong with 5,000 when that's what I get? That's what I'm getting.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
but it goes back to my first point that I said. Black people have to stop pocket watching. You don't assess my value. I assess my value. The
Right.
reason that people have not is because they ask not. And I didn't ask him for anything. He literally said to me, how much will you charge me?
Right.
That is
And
what
that's your
it says. So the flex that he thinks it is, it's really not. He
right.
needs to get himself together and stop trying to besmirch someone's integrity or do nefarious deeds. I pray renewal. I pray God convicts his spirit. I pray that he repents for what he has done, especially what he has done to me. And for Lamisha, she tried to double down and say, I was in a Diddy party with her and all this craziness. Like, poor child. I know it must feel so lonely and sad in your existence because ain't no way you ever met me in person. If you met me in person, boo, you wouldn't be this scatterbrained and crazy. I would have already touched you with the light of the Lord and you would have changed from your wicked ways. So ain't no
Mm.
way you met me. Not the least of which is I'm 54 and this girl is in her 20s. When did I meet you? When you were 6? When you were 6, doltish girl? Like, come on. Don't be silly. And who was watching my kids when I was somewhere in some strange party with you? Why would this man settle a case and pay me if I was up at parties? Like, ask yourself that. It was so stupid and foolish. I wouldn't even dignify. Had you not brought it up, I don't even dignify those things with a response. Like I keep,
Right.
I am
Right.
AARP generation, but I'm not
Right.
afraid to talk about anything. I am not afraid to address any topic because I know the woman of God that I am. You can't
Mm-hmm.
besmirch my integrity, boo. You see this 25 years? I
Mm-hmm.
did this with grace. When I
Right.
got shot, there was no social media, but imagine if there was. They tore me down using the newspapers, the magazines, hip hop magazines, um, all those little MTV, this one, that one, all them little hip hop shows
Mm-hmm.
and radio, urban radio markets. They harassed my life with that in real
Mm.
time. Harassed my life. Imagine if social media, what they trying to do to these young ladies now? They did it to me first. I see the run. I see the play. I see the blueprint. That's why it's so staunch. Shout out, shame on NBC for interviewing Jane Doe. First of all, she's a Jane Doe. Mind your business, NBC. Let this young lady have her peace and her integrity and her quiet and let her go forth when the case is adjudicated. But no, y'all always in some stuff. Just like y'all did an episode of Law and Order about my case right after it happened to me to try to
Oh,
humiliate me and harass me and embarrass me.
do you know what?
But
I
you
want to see that.
hold on, they've eradicated it from
Go ahead.
you almost can't find it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can't
Go
find
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jaguar Wright said she knows the name, the number of the episode and everything. You did an episode on my case, But you have this young woman who is on the spectrum. We always hear when some school shooting happens or something, what do they say? Grief counselors are on board, are present to be able to help anyone with deal with the grief of what took place. Where
Mm-hmm.
is your crisis counselor, your grief counselor, your compassionate care counselor for Jane Doe? This woman has autism. She's on the autism spectrum. She has a traumatic brain injury and a seizure disorder that's neurotransmitted as a result of the injury she sustained. Where
Mm-hmm.
is your compassionate care counselor to counsel her instead of having her under the scrutiny of your reporter who was neither skilled nor qualified to protect her while she was needling her with questions? Well, you said this and you said this and you said this. Where was your compassionate care? If you think NBC is your friend, you in my opinion, they have a lot to be ashamed of. A lot to be ashamed of. This is disgusting. There was no care and concern. There was no trigger warning for others who were at home that may have experienced these very same things to prevent themselves from being exposed to it. Disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
disgusting, disgusting and shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting and shameful. All to
Very
scoop a
much.
story. And then all you're doing is espousing and being a de facto attorney for the other side. We know what this is. We done seen the play. We done ran the play. I'm gonna always call it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always call it out. In my opinion, it was one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
I agree. I agree. I love the fact that you're telling it exactly like it is, and I'm like, but the experience. See, this comes from the experience, and I was thinking that you was going to take Misha under your wing because you have so much experience of telling her not to say this, don't say this, don't, and the
But
snake
you know why it
venom.
doesn't matter and why she couldn't receive it? Because it's my sincere belief she was never a victim. She's a scam artist. She is a
Right,
flat out scam
right.
artist, in my opinion. I truly believe she was paid. She wanted some money and she was doing somebody's bidding. And shame on her for muddying the waters when actual true victims are out here trying to get justice. And here's the thing I know the God that I serve, if you baby, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You step in the midst of the justice that God is bringing after all of this time. You step in betwixt what justice God is meting out. You are going to catch those fire and brimstone rays upon yourself. You asked for it, you got it. Stay out of it. And that's for anybody spewing venom, spreading lies, spreading malice, doing nefarious deeds, besmirching the integrity of survivors, all of that. Stop it. Stop it now. Turn from your sin and repent and go forth
Mm-hmm.
to do something righteous. You are going to pay a heavenly price that you cannot afford to pay. I promise you. I mean that
Mm-hmm.
from my heart and soul. Let's check
You
back on those people same time next year.
mm-hmm.
Same
You're
time.
right about that.
December, what is it? December 29th? Let's look. Oh, we know the people. We see them on the YouTube landscapes. We ain't got to call no names. December 29th, 2025. I'll meet you right back here, Mike. Meet you
Okay.
right back here.
Yep.
God willing, I'll meet you right back here. Let's check on those people. And I bet you we'll be able to run down a list of people and what has happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not calling for no bad on you, but you have brought it on yourself. We are
You
finally
brought it on yourself.
going to do a year in review and look at how you went down.
That's why I don't say anything about any of these people. I say, poor thing,
What thing?
they do not understand.
Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
They know what they. Yep.
They know
I've
not
been called the
what they do.
Uncle Tom because everybody's called me Uncle Mike. They said he not an Uncle Mike, he an Uncle Tom. I
Well,
said,
those
poor.
people need to educate themselves because Uncle Tom was not the person that was the problem. It was Sambo. Get your life. You're repeating things, but you don't do study. They say if you want to hide something from a people, put it in a book. Uncle Tom was the savior. Sambo was the problem. So you in good company, Mike. Let him call you Uncle Tom. See,
You've been wait a minute. So you've been spying on my channel.
I haven't been finding it. No, I haven't. I didn't even know they was doing that. But what I will tell you is,
No,
I am
I
a
just
nerd.
said that.
I'm a
I said
nerd to the T. I know. Listen, I'm an
first of all,
let me
first of all, I told the little kids, I'm on one of my channels, I said, you call me Uncle Tom, what you just did was you gave me a compliment.
elevating you. That's right.
I'd love to be like Uncle Tom because if you read Uncle Tom's Cabin, you will understand who Uncle Tom really was.
Here's the deal. In their language, so they can understand it, it's not the flex you think it is, boo. I speak both languages. I speak AARP English and I speak what y'all speak.
Right. And the thing about it is they don't understand that
Don't.
you see here's what the problem is. And this is what I had a little 25-year-old think they grown because the government say after you 21, now you 25. When I was 25, I thought I was grown. I thought I was grown as I could do whatever I want. Until I turned 35 and say,
and he was like, boy, was I dumb back then.
yeah, they almost dry behind the ears. They still soaking wet. 25, you so wet behind the ears, you don't realize that there's water back there.
Listen, still smelling like Similac, Mike. Like
I'm 58.
So
I'm an old head.
I'm an old head too. We're of a certain generation.
Exactly.
I like it.
And our goal in life right now is to help people, help others. And I tried to help that little boy. You're gonna sit here and tell me, and I'm gonna I'm gonna say these stories. He gonna tell me he's living out of my studio. I want my studio back. No, I can just live right here. He using the bathroom right out back. But if he got to do number 2, he can go upstairs. But he's living out of the studio. Then he bought a cat. Boy, why you need a place to stay? Not this cat.
Is wrong.
Get this stinky cat out of here. I'm a dog man. I don't like cats.
Me too.
And then he gonna tell me, I'm saying, but look, because he's a rapper. And I'm like, well, I never work with a recording artist. So why don't I try to manage you? And I got $80,000 worth of equipment in this place. 80,000. And he gonna tell me, well, Mike, this ain't my first time. I put an album out. This is my 3rd album I'm putting out and all this stuff. I'm getting spins, man. I got 1 million. What is it, Spotify or whatever? See, I'm from CD.
Is he monetizing himself?
Right, I'm making money.
Then why is he? Then he's a poor steward of what God has blessed him with.
Wait a minute. You making money, but why are you
unhoused?
Yeah, if you making so much money, why you sleeping in my studio?
Because he's a poor
come on, man. I'm trying to save money like you. And you know what? Here's the pillow that my mother gave you. Have a nice day. I'm going upstairs. I offered him my bedroom. Because you know how we are. We got our hearts too big. Mike, man, you got it. Mike, I'm telling you, man, you got too big of a heart.
Not too big. Don't listen to that. You continue to keep your big heart. That's what God blessed you with. But we just have to foster the gift of discernment. Some people, here's the deal.
And I try to tell them, not to cut you off, I try to tell them, Mike, you too nice to the people. Well, you got too big of a heart. Well,
don't.
You lie. You wrong. Right now, I understand what you're trying to say, but I wish my heart was 10 times bigger.
Don't listen to that too big of a thing.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone who hasn't done a thing tell you it can't be done. So many people try to tell me you are wasting your time. They will never arrest Puffy. Let it go. You're wasting your time. Those are some of the people that be on social media like, this my home girl. Okay, shouting the loudest. If someone hasn't accomplished something, never let them tell you it can't be done.
Most definitely.
It can't be done. And your heart is not too big. Here's what the dichotomy of it is. Your heart is not too big. It is when you try to give someone the information and you try to help them and they don't receive it. It means that is like when we are cooking and you kind of turn the meat over to see if it's brown enough. It ain't ready yet. They have to go back on their journey to continue to learn. And that's what it is. He did not take in what God put before him, the blessing that God put before him and anointed him with. He wasn't willing to receive it. He still was of his own mind. The word says, lead not on your own understanding.
It's 3 or 4 of them. And Natania, just to let you know that we are new at all this because we've been pushing this channel so hard. And to hear my partner, I'm in the backyard working one day and he said, man, are you sitting down? Because we made some big money. Huh? We just started. We wasn't, I don't know. I'm still trying to understand this whole thing because we finally making some money where I can quit my job. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm new at this thing. And I said, well, right now, I think we can afford this. So let's go do this. We need new equip. We need a little more equipment. I need to go round trip tickets to the Philippines. This is hard. And
Yeah,
people,
it's not easy. It's not easy. And people think we're just sitting behind a thing and doing a thing.
right. And
Like
you got the
25th
20
anniversary
people.
celebration. You know how long I was on the air? 7 hours. That 25th anniversary special was 7 hours. I can't believe I was like 7 hours.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't believe it was that long.
We
It
did
didn't
9 hours
feel
the
that
other
long.
day.
Huh?
We did 9 hours on our live stream the other day, not yesterday, but day before yesterday.
And
And
they have to understand it takes something out of you. There's a
right.
sacrifice. When I'm sitting here, there is 7 hours worth of things I'm not doing.
And you know all your friends and family member or so-called friends, not the family members, they hand come rolling out like this.
Here's the deal.
Hey Mike,
I
can
have
you?
to say, I'm so eternally grateful for my friends and family and the ones that came up, the ones that couldn't come up, the ones that sent me messages. A lot
Hmm.
of people were sick. People, there's a flu going out there, or you know, the vid 2.0. Y'all watch yourselves because a lot of people message me. I'm sick. I'm sick. I have the flu. I can't get out of bed, or what they think was the flu, but they were very sick. So many people came out to celebrate me. So many people came out to participate. I'm so
Hmm.
eternally grateful. Oftentimes, you will be. The word says that a prophet is received everywhere, but in his own home. Sometimes the ones that are closest to you don't
Hmm.
stand in the gap with and for you, but your support will come from other places and other people. And so
Hmm.
shout out to those who support Mike. I would invite you guys over to my channel to come and partake in what we're doing over there. It is a lot of fun. Trust me, I know I'm very spiritual and you guys hear me, speaking spiritual. I'm comfortable with God. I'm comfortable. So
Hmm.
many people write to me and say, "Thank you so much for being so comfortable speaking about God," because guess what? It I've been wanting to get back to prayer and to talking to God, and I could not because I felt like God wouldn't receive me, or I didn't know what the first thing to say with God was. I thought God would be mad at me. And now I'm back in the fold and I'm literally, talking to the most high and all that. And I love it. And I love what
Hmm.
I'm doing. But we do a lot of great things over there. We're having a bunch of fun. I want you guys to make sure you come and participate with us and join my channel. Subscribe, become a part of the nerd herd. We're doing a lot of fun things over there. So be a part of it.
Right, right. Okay, then. Well, I'm gonna let you up unless you want to stay. Cause look, I thought we was gonna do an hour. We going on 2 hours and two and
Oh,
a half hours.
yeah.
But I
People are
definitely
texting
want.
me now to
Huh?
get back to. I said people are texting me now to
Right.
the commitments I have. But
We're gonna email you
okay,
some of the tracks,
okay,
and
forward to it.
I want to listen to when I get to the Philippines. I'm gonna be relaxed and I'm gonna listen to um your style and Jaguar style, so we can. I don't want you to just throw your voice on anything that just to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? I want some passion behind all this.
Everything I do is passionate. I know y'all can see that. I am. Listen, one thing no one will ever accuse me of being is not passionate. I am extremely
Okay.
passionate about everything I do. But it was a pleasure being here, Mike, and I will absolutely come back.
Yeah, most definitely. And we will bless you the best we can. Like I was
Absolutely,
saying that we just started all this and
absolutely. How long you guys been on?
huh?
How long you been running?
The live channel.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for like 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
my channel, the main channel, if you look, you can look it up and everything, and it say 6 or 7 years. But
Wow.
we just started making some real money like 30 days ago. Hello.
Listen, praise God. Praise God.
I said, wait a minute. And that's remember you were saying, put
Mhm.
your job, if that's what God tells.
That's right.
He told me, just like he told you to change your shoes. He told me
Faith and obedience.
it's time to leave this job. And I said, you know what, God, I'm glad you even told me that. And so many people on my job was like, now see, what you should do is you should work a whole year so you
Yep.
can save the money. And I'm like,
Listen to those people. I found
why should I stay on this job is not even paying. I'm making 2 times as much money, not one time or double, 2 times as much money. Staying, all I gotta do is I quit the band
yep.
because they don't want to listen. And I can't find the words to tell these people. I can't find the words. And I said, This what the band told me. They want me to film the band because they need footage of the band. How the hell I'm gonna film the band and I ain't in the band? I feel as though that's embarrassing. In other words, you saying I'm not needed in the band.
Mm.
Y'all want me behind the
Well,
camera.
here's the deal. Search, talk to God on that. Search, talk to God, and seek His face on how to proceed with that. Because
I
they
already
really
did.
in it.
He
Oh,
already told me because the very next show they was like, "Oh, you off today? We don't need a bass player."
oh,
So
oh.
now you want me to film and not play the bass, and then this next show you don't even need a bass. People
Shade.
texting me like, "Yo, man, you not in the band no more." Them hints, them hints.
Mhm,
And I said, you know what? And one other show before all this, we was live. I'm on live on my phone. Hey, y'all, we going to the show just to because we got to keep this clock running
mhm.
to get subscribers and stuff. And we get to the show and they canceled the whole show. It's a waste of time. I could have been in here doing my YouTube stuff.
Well, that's
So,
okay. Anytime somebody try to put a trap or anything, a barrier for your success, it's only
right.
going to give you double for your trouble.
So he's clearly telling me, you
Hmm.
need to focus on one thing, Mike, and that's YouTube.
There you go.
And the more I focus on it, the more it's coming back up. Baby, we getting strong.
And here's the deal: not even focus on YouTube, focus on you.
Yeah, focus on me helping,
Whatever,
doing what God wants you to do.
whatever.
God is telling me to help other people.
And it's a beautiful feeling, and it's
Mm, mm,
redemptive in
mm.
your soul. People who don't help others don't understand what motivates us. It is so redemptive in your soul. You can't help but to do it. So don't let anybody make you feel like what you're doing is not a noble gesture. You are doing noble gestures, Mike, and people enjoy you. You trust me. Your numbers show it. People enjoy you. I want your
Thank you so much. Huh?
anyone who is so inclined and interested in anything that I'm saying or interested in me as a person or what we're doing, by all means, feel free to come over to the Dopest Nerd and get to know us. Come and subscribe, watch a
Mm-hmm.
video or two, check back in with us, and get to know us. If we don't have what you're looking for, I totally understand. But if we do, stay a while. Take off your shoes at the door, put on your fuzzy socks, come on in. Get on in.
Yeah, that's the same thing we be saying. Okay. All right, then. Golly, Natania Reuben, ladies and gentlemen. Thank
Mike
you so
Cross,
much.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. We'll keep in
Well,
touch. You know, I'm
absolutely.
gonna be in your chat room saying, "Hey, girl."
Thank you.
You
Absolutely.
know, if you on, I'm gonna be in the background
I
listening to
will.
help support. You know
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying?
And likewise,
Most
likewise,
definitely. Most
I
definitely.
appreciate you
All right, job. I'm hungry. I was hungry before we started, and we did 2.5 hours. That's crazy.
so easily.
So easily.
Mhm.
Golly, but we're gonna do some things. So y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.
Peace.
Okay, that's the end. Man.
Thank you, Mike. You see how easy it is to just talk? It's like hanging with your friends.
And I was
You think
hoping,
you're not a good interviewer. You're a great interviewer.
thank you so much. I was hoping, I said, I let go and let God. I said, Lord, we didn't even talk to each other.
Hmm.
And then you came late. I was trying to talk to you before. I said, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna, and I keep trying to tell people when you plan some of this stuff, because people came to my studio, friends of mine, yeah, I'm gonna let you interview me for free, Mike, but everybody else gotta pay. And I'm like, who are you? And the interview was horrible. I did 3 of them. They ain't make it to the channel.
Wow.
You're gonna clearly see this one on the channel.
Wow. And here's something. So it was weird. I was like, when I literally, God literally, like almost like stroked me in my sleep and it woke me up. And
Mm-hmm.
when I woke up, I lifted my head and I was like, and I heard the rain and I could see the lightning outside. And I was like, oh, wow, it got this bad. I thought it was going to end. And just as I said that, poof, all the lights went out in my room. Like I had the TV on,
Wow.
a little night. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, man,
Mm-hmm.
the lights, I said, I wonder what happened. A tree fell.
Mm.
Fell and not even in my immediate vicinity, right? Like up the street, a tree fell and then
Mm-hmm.
it ended up cutting out all the lights in my subdivision. So now
Right. Wow.
my light didn't pop on until probably about 40 minutes before we went on because I was
Yeah.
going to go to a Starbucks and
Mm.
sit in a Starbucks. And then I was like, no problem, Father God. I'll go to the Starbucks. And I was like, oh, my car's in the garage. And
Mm.
like, okay, I'll pull it off the track and then, take my car.
Right.
And when God heard all I was willing to do to go and make sure I made this interview, all of a sudden the lights popped back on. And then when the TV came back on, it came right back on, right onto the church service. I said, okay, thank you, Father God. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
When we
said,
first started emailing each other, and I was too nervous. I could. You said, "Come on, well, we can come on." Because you was telling me, "Well, we can do it tonight." No, oh no, not tonight. I ain't even think about the nervousness yet. That's when I got real nervous. I said, "This girl is fast." But
yeah, I'm listen.
yeah, we was filming a lot of stuff and everything. But I like that because no better time than the present. That's how I am. So yeah, well, you go ahead, most definitely. You go ahead and do what you got to do, girlfriend, because I
Son,
know you go ahead. You go ahead and do what you got to do,
all
and
right.
and I'm gonna
They've been
talk to
trying
the
to keep me
people.
for a minute.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Shout out to Mike Cross and the Music Recording Network. I had a blast.
most definitely. Thank you. Peace. All righty. There you have it, y'all. There you have it. Now, who I'm gonna pick on other than Cristal? We can't pick on Cristal because Cristal has actually yeah, y'all put them carrots up. That's what I should have said, Cookie. Put some carrots up, y'all. Y'all go find the carrots now. Go find the carrots. Much love, Nat. Yeah. Thank y'all so much, man. Good job, Mike. Thank you so much. Well done, Uncle Mike. Yeah, who is that? That's Devil Girl 777. Devil Girl 777. Yep, awesome interview. Right, right. I am going to I supposed to be what's the day Sunday? God dang it, I don't even know what day it is. I love that. Yeah, the day Sunday. Yeah, we got Patron Day. So yeah. Nah, homie. Oh my gracious. I'm excited. My first interview. Wow. Yes, it's Sunday. Devil Devil Doll. I said Devil Girl for one thing. Devil Doll 666. Um Caroline TG. What's up? Is that a wait a minute? This is way behind because she's still on. Jesus. This thing is way behind. There you go. We back. We on top of stuff now. All right. When I see the beautiful ladies, like did yeah. Did yeah, you did great, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, most definitely. I think um Cook gracious boy, she been through a lot, man. She is a very strong person. I'm like, God dang, man, girl, you are strong, and can you imagine um all the negativity that she's going through? We didn't even cover all the people that went to the club with her and all her friends and that was there and all the people that was there that was bribed and said, they had meetings with Puffy and Puffy paid these people off to say that whatever she was saying wasn't true and all this stuff. Yeah. So hey Cassandra, how you doing, Cassandra? Hey Mike, how you doing, girl? You doing all right? Are you all right? All right. Yeah, Jeannie Gardner, what's up? Got the little short haircut with the hoop earrings on, girl. Look, congratulations on your first of many interviews. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, man. Everybody keeps saying that I did a good job, or everybody keeps saying, I'm like, keep talking, girl. I'm like, keep talking, girl. Keep talking, flow, because I don't know what to say. But then eventually I have some things to say and everything to her. So yeah, 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 most definitely. Great interview. Be happy. There she go, y'all. Be happy. Uh-oh, Cookie. Cookie, go up. Cookie, go upstairs. Go on upstairs. Go on upstairs, girl. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody, man. You did a great job. Thank you, did. Thank you. I'm just saying. See, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it so much. I'm trying, I'm learning, and I'm still growing. Hey, Mike, sorry about the video last night. I'll be more careful from now on. Now, don't worry about it, Queenie. I mean, shoot, it was on YouTube. We thought that bad boy was going to rock, so maybe I can do a reaction to it. Yeah. Thank y'all so much, man, because we trying our best to make some stuff happen. We love you, big man Mike. Ha ha. Plata D. Plata D. What's up? There's Helen. Helen, you gonna come on show? Let us hear that voice and the bye bye. We want to hear the bye bye a little bit also. Most definitely. Helen J. Appreciate you. There she go. That's who I was going to say. Debbie with the one cat. That's one of them I don't like. I don't know. Something happened. We on your side. I don't know what happened. I think something got you got timed out or kicked out or something. I don't work that stuff. But long story short, email sent. Well, emails sent donation for the UK, Mike. Email sent redonation. I don't know. Yeah. But Debbie, I think we talked about it and something. I think something was misunderstood. I just wanted you to know that we don't misunderstand you. We know you on our team. Sometimes this typing, y'all got to bear with all the typing that's going on, and somebody might time out because they buy cookie. Yeah, to here I have to go. Yeah, we about to leave in 2 more minutes. We got 2 more minutes. We gone. This is a 2.5 hour stream. Jay, what's up, Jay? Oh yeah, Mike. You got that. Text me number. Text me number yet. You got that text me number yet? Yeah, might go to sleep. Okay, y'all. Yeah, hit me with an email and then we can talk and all that good stuff. They go Tiny. Hey Tiny, how you doing? And JRS. God damn. That's what I tell my daughters. Yeah, most definitely. Hello, Mike. You know what? Thank you for the hello, but you still in trouble because you need to come on so we can hear that beautiful voice. Thanks, Uncle Mike, Natania, Mars. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, blessings to all. Thank y'all. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.